Yo, 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 what's up? Polo Sports Talking ENT coming at y'all grinding again. What's up with the big who? I see you in the building, man. Um, Hit that like and hit that sub and also comment as well. Also hit the notifications too so that you're able to get my videos and streaming things of that nature. What we're getting ready to dive into, man, is a subject that pretty much can't be ignored, and you can't even hide from it, even if you wanted to. Okay. Um, this season, more than ever, has been a letdown for a lot of teams. Okay, and I know that the best ability is uh, is availability and reliability. You know, because if you are available, then in turn they'll be able to rely on you. So those go hand in hand. A lot of people don't say that, but I have to say that. And there's been injuries to a lot of the star players, the perennial all stars. Of course, starting at the top, of course, was LeBron, and that happened earlier uh, in the year. Okay, with his ankle injury. Okay, now even though he still came back and was able to be ready for the playoffs, he was still out for a number of games, and he had stated that had attributed to his play because he said that he was only 85%. Okay, and then of course you had AD, who was pretty much out for a stretch of time because of the Achilles scare, not tear, scare, and lower extremity issues that he had been dealing with pretty much the whole entire year. Um, I want to say it was his calf, either the calf or the hamstring. Then you had Joel Embiid, okay, who before before the injury, he was having an MVP like season, putting up all types of great numbers, this year. Okay, and to me, if he had kept going the way that he was going, if he had, not gotten hurt, I felt like Embiid would have definitely possibly got MVP because he was definitely playing at that MVP caliber level. Now, we have to understand that injuries are a part of the game. Okay, we also have to realize that we have no control. We have no control over it. Okay, we have to mention Kevin Durant, who was having some leg issues this season. Can't forget about James Harden, uh, who was having some issues as well. Um, there was also the injury to a combination of three different Clippers, which was Serge Ibaka, which included his back, Kawhi Leonard, which included his knee, and then of course there was well later in the playoffs, you had CP3, and then you had Donovan Mitchell. Okay, you had Donovan Mitchell who was hurt, and then you had Mike Conley Jr. Okay, you know. Um, then the biggest one I think was James Harden. Then you also had Kyrie Irving. Okay, let's make no mistake about it. Those are still perennial all stars, and they are considered superstars in the league. We have to understand that. So those guys have been injured, and my question is, has that had an effect on this NBA season? You know, we look at a guy like who I have up here. Man, look, I love Kawhi to death, man. I love Kawhi to death. I like what he brings to the game. I like his grit, I like his heart. I like the fact that he's a blue collar type of guy. But we also have to state the fact that Kawhi Leonard, his situation is not doesn't seem to be getting any better. It doesn't mean it. It's not going to get any better. I also forgot to mention Jamal Murray too. That was another guy that with Denver we had to throw him in there too. Had Jamal Murray been available, would that have made it made the series more competitive? We have to ask that. And a lot of people don't. Look, I don't make no excuses. It is next man up. There's no excuses. You still got to go out there and play. You're still a human being, just like the next man. Even though that guy, he might be your backup, there's still no excuses because you signed up to play the game. You signed up to actually, go out there and and compete. So it is the next man up type of mentality. Now, had these players been healthy, would we be looking at a different situation? Everybody talks about, Boston. Oh, okay, well, if I'm sorry about it, not Boston. Well, yeah, we got to throw Boston in there. Jalen Brown, he was hurt. Kemba Walker hadn't been healthy. Can't forget about Boston. Those guys were hurt too as well. And then we also have to look, of course, Klay Thompson, but he's been hurt since the beginning of the year. He wasn't even going to come in going into the season. So pretty much a lot of these teams that we're mentioning, especially a team like a Golden State, like a Brooklyn, like a LA Clippers, some people are wondering, okay, well, if these guys would have been in full strength and would have had the superstar players, would they have made the presence felt better in the playoffs? And my answer to that question is it would have made a difference. It would have made a difference, especially when you consider Brooklyn. Now, I'm not blind to the fact that if Brooklyn was at full strength, they probably would have beat Milwaukee. And I know some people don't want to some people don't want to admit that, but it's the truth. It's the truth. For all we say that uh, Milwaukee beat them, fair and square. They still went out there and they still played. But if James Harden was fully healthy, if Kyrie Irving was fully healthy, if the Lakers were fully healthy. Because the thing about it is see, with that Lakers situation too, it wasn't just LeBron and AD that was hurt. You also had KCP, and KCP is a valuable player too as well. You know, we have to look at some of these things. But here's my thing though too. The Clippers, even though they may lose tonight, okay, let's just call it what it is. And I hate to be like that, and I hate to say it like that, Bihu. But if the Clippers lose tonight, then they have. I'm gonna be honest with you. They don't have nothing to feel that bad for because they had a lot of things working against them. As much as we look at Kawhi Leonard, okay, yes, he is that superstar on the team, but we can't discount. What's up with it? What's up with the Celtics Nation? I see you in the building, man. You could hop in here and give your take on this too if you want, man. For as much as we look at Kawhi Leonard as just the guy and everything, Serge Ibaka is just as important to that team. Okay, and then there were other players that were important to their teams too as well, like Mike Conley Jr. You seen that Donovan Mitchell could not handle the responsibility that Mike Conley Jr. could, and it showed in his play. And he did. While he scored a lot of points, he was jacking up a lot of shots too and getting frustrated. And it did a lot. It did a lot of negative justice for the team because Mike Conley Jr. does so much for that squad, but they only look at the superstar that are being hurt. Donovan Mitchell wasn't 100% neither because he messed up his ankle. Okay, so more than ever in this playoff, you see a lot of these players getting hurt. And was that attributed to what took place the previous season? Was it the fact that there was a quick turnaround of the season, them barely having a training camp and having to jump right back into the season due to the pandemic that took place? Was it the fact that they had little to no time to rest like they wanted to, and dealing with all the stress that they had to, coupled in with protocols that they had to follow, all this stuff, you know, the 72 games being cut short. We have to take those things into consideration. A lot of these players that that play, their bodies are used to a certain routine. Okay. Now, I'm disappointed in Kawhi for him not sitting on the bench. However, maybe maybe there's some things that we don't know that's going on in terms of him being in that skybox. Okay, but me, I feel like he should be on the floor motivating his teammates. But that's a whole nother story. The reason why I bring that up though is that certain players have to sit a certain way, and they have to be uh, in a certain type of chair. Sometimes, there's some players that can't sit certain ways. Like I have a friend that he played football, and he played it at the collegiate level, and he also played it at the pro level, and he has to sit in a special chair whenever he sits down. He can't sit in a normal chair, and that's from years of uh, he had a ruptured disc. He had his knees were because we're talking about a big guy. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a guy that's like he was like 6'5", 300 and something pounds. You know, so but the the constant wear and tear on his body, it took a toll on him. And see, when you look at a guy like Kawhi, his situation, and even with Joel Embiid, because I can't just sit here and harp on Kawhi. We have to look at a guy like Joel. We have to look at a guy like Joel Embiid. Okay, he should not have been playing. He should not have been playing. Yeah, you might have thought he played okay and he put up decent numbers, but you're not looking at the fact that that tear is not going to get any better. It might improve, but when you're constantly playing on it, you're putting stress on that. And it's the same with Kawhi and his knees. Okay, degenerative means that it's going to be a constant thing, constant rupture. It's never gonna get better. So you have to look at, okay, how many years does Kawhi actually have left? He does not have that much time. He doesn't have that much time, and a lot of people get on him for load managing and stuff like that. But people don't realize that if he sits up there and plays and plays and plays, you're gonna wind up in a situation just like when it could just be a freak accident. He ran into Joe Ingles, his knee, and next thing you know, he had a knee sprain or whatnot. At first they thought it was had to do something with the ACL and everything, but nevertheless, it's still his knee, and his knees are not 100%. But he's still going out there every day just to go ahead and try to put that banner for the Clippers. And you got some cutthroat individuals out there that say, okay, well, nah, he should be playing, ride it out, or like Shaq saying that put some icy hot on when he was talking about on AD. You don't know that player's body. AD was a walking injury. As much as I like AD and as talented as he is, he's a walking injury. He's a walking injury. He's fragile. You know. I don't like to call him soft in the sense that he can't take it, or he's a sissy or a coward or nothing like that. But I think, like, if I was to say anything, he's just injury prone. But that's not nothing new. We knew that. But see, the staff, I think the staff, the trainer that had got fired, I think that was one of the big reasons. I'm just looking at it, that may have been one of the big reasons why they fired that head trainer. He should not have been out there playing. And I'm gonna keep it real with you too as well. If LeBron felt like he was really bad, or really felt bad, and he was 85% and all this other stuff. If LeBron said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and sit out," I, look, as a fan, you probably would have been disappointed. Oh, what's up? What's up? I tell you this, man. Texas in the building. Yeah, that's what he has, but that's not what that's not what this is about. I tell you this, man. It's just about the injuries that have had an effect on this NBA season. You'll probably hear it if you rewind my video back, but you had a number of players that have been out. I mean, we could go down the list, or have been playing hurt. I mean, you got Mike Conley Jr. for Utah. Okay, you also had Donovan Mitchell, who both were playing hurt. Then, of course, you had James Harden, who was playing hurt with the hamstring. Then you had Kyrie Irving with the ankle. Okay, and then you also had Joel Embiid, who had a meniscus tear. Okay, you also had uh, uh, CP3, who had a shoulder issue. And then you also have, I mean, you got Devin Booker, but he's still out there playing. But he said that it hasn't affected his shooting. But I give it to Devin Booker. His shooting has probably been affected by the broken nose, but he still had a broken nose. Then you got Serge Ibaka, who was injured too as well. He was out for the season. Some people may think that he's not a, a valuable asset to the squad, but you need a guy like Serge Ibaka, and the list goes on and on. But the question is, Octavius and Celtics Nation and Big Who, is if those players would have played, and then Jamal Murray, I keep forgetting about Jamal Murray, but Jamal Murray was hurt too as well. If these guys would have played, would that have made it? Would that have made a difference? Also Jaylen Brown. We can't forget about Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker being fully healthy. Would that made a difference? That's the question that we have to ask. You know, I look at it like this: it would have made a difference. Now, to say that, you know, it would have been this team would have been in this finals or anything like that, that would have been a bold prediction to make, because I picked the 76ers and the Bucks to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I did have Phoenix. I had Phoenix, going in there. I had Phoenix. I had it out of Phoenix and in LA at one point. The Clippers. I picked it right. I picked it wrong on the East, right on the West. So would they have would they have been here if would Utah have been better with Mike Conley Jr.? Okay, would Brooklyn have been better with uh, a healthy Kyrie and a healthy Harden? Everybody knows that. They're saying, yeah. Would even Denver would they have beaten the Suns with Jamal Murray? We have to ask those questions, and I know I get it. Would the Lakers been as great as a team with the fully healthy LeBron and with the fully healthy AD? So that's why these questions have to be asked. Have the effects of these injuries had an impact on this NBA playoffs? Because you've seen a lot of them. It's like every time you turn your head, man, this guy getting injured. But you still have to go out there. You still have to produce, but you don't know how that guy is feeling. I look at a guy like Kawhi, and I look how he runs. He runs like, and this isn't to not, this isn't to talk down on Kawhi or anything like that. And I would say it was more so last year. He was kind of running on his heels a little bit. it was kind of like he wasn't running. He wasn't running like on the balls of his feet. It was running like he was running like as if he was in pain, you know. And that's just the risk that you take when you play with injuries. For me, I don't like anything like that. I feel like if that player wants to sit down, he has a right to sit down. I don't think that Kawhi is faking anything. I really do truly believe that he is not feeling that great. I feel like if he was 100%, he would be out there. But it's better to be safe than to be sorry. Real talk. It's better to be safe than be sorry. Y'all hit the like and hit the sub as you come on in. I would rather for a player to sit out. Like I didn't want AD to play. Okay, these are the players that I did not want to play. I didn't want AD to play. I know Snoop Dogg and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Y'all my guys and everything, but I disagree with y'all. You know, I didn't want AD to play. I did not want Joel Embiid to play. Even though we could have used the scoring and everything, but he was hurt earlier in the year. I did not want him to play. And James Harden and Mike Conley Jr. I know I know that y'all were trying to take one for the team, but it to me you should have sat out, okay? Because you're doing more harm than good. These fans aren't the ones that have to get up in the morning and and feel the way that you feeling. These fans don't have to play 72 or 82 games plus in the season. Yes, these fans play. They pay a lot to come and see you. They put cheeks and seats and everything like that. But a lot of these people have never dribbled a ball, much less ran up and down the court for 40 plus minutes. So it's easy for us to say, "All right, yeah, man, get out there, man, you better play," or "Man, come on, man, just put some icy hot on it." Okay, coming from Shaq, uh, I don't know. I wouldn't agree with a thing with what Shaq said because Shaq, as much as I like Shaq, he couldn't remain healthy himself. So I'm not going to take any advice from him. Now, as I let South Political tackle this topic, because this is a topic that does need to be discussed, and it's a topic that some people may feel differently about. I'm gonna say this one last thing, okay? And this is a fact. It might be an opinion of other, but this is a fact. When you're 20 years old, you could say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna put some icy hot on it," or throw some dirt on it and go type of mentality, or just wrap it up real good and just keep on going or whatever. But after you get close to your 30s, 31, 32, 33, you start thinking about the future, and your body does not feel that same way. So you have to understand what guys like Kawhi are thinking about, what guys like maybe even Joel Embiid, even though he's a little bit younger, are thinking about. You have to think about what AD is thinking about because he's had plenty of injuries. You have to think about LeBron, what he's thinking about. You have to think about Mike Conley Jr., what he's thinking about. You have to think about even Donovan Mitchell, even though he's young, you got to think about what he's thinking about, and so on and so forth. Jamal Murray, everybody. These guys are thinking about the future. They're not thinking about you. They have to play with their families. They have to go home and make love to their significant other. And I know that doesn't, y'all probably don't want to hear that. If you got virgin ears, this channel, man, it ain't for you. But I mean, it's the truth because if uh, uh, injuries do have an effect, some injuries, like a growing, will have an effect, like a sports hernia, will have an effect on you to some degree sexually. Let's just put it out there. If you have a tailbone, a lumbar, or something like that, man, you're not going to be able to hit the skins like you want to. You be like, oh, and
Polar
that's a
appendix
quality of life that you have to think about it. We don't want to talk about that type of thing, South Political, but it has to be put out there. And I'll go further than sexual. It's also just playing with your kids, your everyday walking and stuff like that. They'll be like, "Well, baby, why are you moving like an old man?" Well, it's because of the combinations that injury, uh, of injuries that person had. So we have to think about the afterlife. Go ahead, South Political. You got the floor.
No, it's interesting. You brought up a point I was thinking about when you was talking. The fact that, for instance, you have these players that want to question. You have retired or former players that want to question other players' health and availability when that wasn't put in question when they played, like a Shaq. Nobody questioned you in 2004 when you was injured or everything and certain things like that. So a lot of this stuff, this is what kind of convolutes the conversation, when it convolutes the conversation when, you have non-athletes or people that didn't experience playing any sports at any level, try to chime in and then Shaq come in and say something and it kind of make them feel like it kind of get them gratification of what they saying. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it convolutes the situation, but I think I said something about this before. With all the injuries, really the Clippers have the most to lose because you got a star player that's going into can easily opt out and join another team. I mean, we I mean, nobody really knows where Kawhi is at as far as going forward with the Clippers franchise. You know what I mean? And as well as for all things you said, just speaking on Kawhi, who knows how further vested the Clippers are with Kawhi, man. I mean, nothing's nothing's a safe bet that he has a lot of good quality years left in his tank. I would hope to like so, because I think he's been a phenomenal player thus far, but the short history as shown, doesn't lead to you being secure in the fact that he can give you a quality for the next 3 to 5 years. If you just look at his health history, he's had. If he have a surgery this year, it'll be 3 surgeries in 5 years on his knees, and
Four.
he's four. Oh, see,
Yeah, I
that's
think you said.
3 years.
Did you didn't you say three? Because you were the one
I
that
said
put it in
3.
perspective. You said three the other day, so wouldn't it be four?
I think it. I think I might have been quite off because he hadn't had surgery yet.
Hmm.
I was under the inclination that he had surgery at the time when I said it.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah, because I looked it up. I was like, man, he was on point with that.
yeah, I mean, I could still be wrong, but it's right up in that ballpark. We know that for sure. And it's like, how do you invest that much stock, no matter how great a player, if it's a high probability that he's not going to be available? Because right now he's not available in the most important time of the season when you need him the most. Not about not liking Kawhi. I like Kawhi, but can he be available when you need him? Can you count on him to be durable? I mean, they spent pretty much this year and some change, virtually 2 years that he's been with the organization. They let him low manage. They've done a lot of things that we perceive to accommodate possibly sustaining his longevity and a career in the league with their team. And still, you come to this. What? 2 weeks ago, he's still getting hurt, and you can't. And we know in sports, you can't sit here and kind of coddle a player and think that's gonna stop him from getting hurt. It's just not. If you get hurt, you get hurt. No matter. you can't go into a season and say, okay, we're gonna only let him play X amount of games or sit out X amount of games. And that's gonna stop him from getting hurt. It just don't work like that. You know, I don't know how you feel about that, but like I'm gonna say it one more time, the Clippers have possibly the most to lose from these injuries. I mean, most of the other star players that got injured, they're still under contract. You know what I mean? Other than out of the prospect of trying to possibly force their way out into another situation, you under the inclinations that more than likely they'll be back and hopefully they can stay healthy to help their team make another run next year. But with the Kawhi situation, Kawhi is he can opt out. I mean, or he's a free agent if I'm not mistaken, one or the other.
Yeah, I think Kawhi is more than likely going to stay, but you did bring up the fact that the best ability is availability, and I also said that I always throw this in there too, and it's coupled with reliability, because just because you're available, that doesn't mean that they can necessarily rely on you, because it has to be reliability too, because they need to rely on you to be fully healthy. You might end up coming back and everything, but then they're like, oh no, you're injured again. So I throw
Yeah,
reliability in there. Now, Don Lovato, you bring up I'm gonna touch on what you said in just a second, South Political. Now, uh, Don Lovato, you brought up a good point. You said yes, Polo, health is very important. You have to take care of yourself first. No one else is going to take care of you, and that's what I'm saying. You see, it's sad, South Political, but the average fan, guess what they look at these guys as? They look at them. They look at them as machines. They look
yeah.
at them
Video
as
games.
robots.
And
They
look
look
at
at
them,
them as avatars.
yeah, like on a video game, like they playing 2K. You know,
Exactly.
you can turn
And
the engines off this year now and play the whole season.
exactly. And I mean, it's sad that we look at these. Some people look at these athletes as that, but these guys have activity in their limbs. These guys have blood running through their veins. They have organs. They have brains. Just like you do. When that guy is out there hurting, that guy might have been hurting the whole season. He might
Yeah,
have been injured the whole season. You may not know it, but because this guy is, he doesn't want his stock to go down, or fear that this guy, they might be thinking that, oh, he fell off and they're looking at another young stud that's coming in or something like that. He's like, well, skip all this, man. I got to keep my stock up. I got to keep my numbers up and stuff like that. Because I alluded to this fact too, right here, South Political. Was it me, or did you notice this? Not so much this year, but last year. When you looked at Kawhi run and the way he ran, didn't he run different?
I can't say I really noticed it.
Because he ran like, if you looked at the way he runs like he was running like he was on his heels, like on his heels, kind of, and you just have to. It's kind of hard for me to explain. It's like he wasn't running like bounce with that bounce, like that pep in the step or whatever. It was running like he was in pain.
Kind of like it's stiff, because when you have problems
Yeah,
with your
yeah, yeah,
knees,
yeah. Stiff. There you go. There
when you
you
have
go.
when
There
you
you
have
go.
problem with your knees and quads, it stiffens up in some aspect where it's a stiff discomfort,
Mm-hmm.
and then it might be pain once you fully extend or expand. It might have been that where he had a discomfort, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like he running like he's stiff.
Right.
I can see what you're saying, but I don't pay attention to it to that magnitude.
Yeah, I pay attention to that, South, because you know, I guess it's just me, because being around the sport, and also training as well. You'll look at a certain individual and you'll be like, okay, something's not quite. right here, or man, that guy like right there, he looks like he's in pain or something like that. But then there's some guys that may be able. It's like with D Wade. The only way that you could really tell that he was in pain is when he was slow to get up, but he would always keep that poker face on there or something like that. But he was fighting like a whole list of injuries and stuff like that. And see, this is another thing too. I didn't want a combination of AD. I did not want him out there, and neither did I want Joel Embiid out there. Now I know some people are like, well, it's just a small meniscus tear. South Solidical, you know better than I do. A
Yeah,
meniscus, that's nothing to play with.
yeah.
ACL, that's
You
nothing to
possibly
play
break
with.
your career long term.
So, I just some people disagree. They'll be like, nah, he need to be out there. He's your main player, but you don't realize that he was hurt earlier in the season because he got hurt because he was on pace to have that good MVP season, and then he got hurt.
Yeah. The Like I said though, man, really, Clippers got a very tough decision because you got to remember the players they have acquired thus far is based on them playing around a prime Kawhi, and if whether and if Kawhi stays, is you know all these players were acquired for him to be at the level that we've been accustomed him playing to the past couple of years.
Hmm.
So if they got to really take a deep look at the mirror and say, do we feel safe with keeping this player? You know what I mean? With just his recent health history, because it's something to really take consider. This is weird. I'm scared. I'm really scared for the dude.
What for Kawhi?
Yeah, I am.
What in what
Look at
sense?
how he got hurt, man. Huh?
Oh, you talking about from a health
Yeah, I
standpoint?
mean, as far as what's to come for the future for him, you know what I'm saying? Three
Right.
surgeries in 5 years. You in your third. You just hit 30 now. How
Hmm.
much of playing at a certain level do you have left? Just like even with Wade, the way once Wade got over 30, you know what I'm saying, toward the last couple of years that him and LeBron played with, he wasn't the same weight.
Hmm.
And he never did return to the same weight. But I just feel like the Clippers got a very tough decision to make. I mean, maybe if other people
Yeah.
don't feel the same, but
Be, because
uh,
uh, I think like somebody had alluded to I think Morris is in his final year because he was on a 4 year, 64 million. Is he on his final year?
oh,
And
yeah.
from what I know, he was at 4 years, 64 million. Uh, and I think you did mention that he does have the player option. Claude does have the player option, and but he had just signed that deal, and then of course Paul George. Those were the two biggest. Them signing that max deal and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned Rondo.
I didn't say
Uh,
anything though.
no, you didn't say it was somebody else that mentioned Rondo about okay, what would they do with a guy like Rondo? And I'm like, man, you shouldn't even touch Rondo if and I wouldn't even touch Reggie Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's on a 1 year because
I mean,
Reggie's
he got
value
a
has went up.
contract.
Nicholas Batum is on a 1 year, and unfortunately, we don't talk about him.
I mean,
But
yeah.
Patrick Patterson is just on the bench, and he's like Jared Dudley or Udonis Haslam. He's just taking up space.
I don't understand what you mean by don't touch him. You mean just let them go if they leave, or just try to keep them?
Right, right. Don't try to because he's on a 1 year,
So don't even
and
try to
I would try to do
resign him.
everything. I would try to do everything that I could to try to keep a guy like Reggie Jackson because he's made strides in this playoff.
I mean, now the way you saying it, I would assume that you thinking that he will be more or less willing to come back no matter what the market it looks for him. That's what you're
Yeah.
assuming.
Yeah, well, now you bring up a good point. You think he would be looking for more because he's at 1 year, 2.3, and
Yeah,
I'm thinking he's probably looking for a payday. He's like, look, I performed good
I
in the
mean,
playoffs.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know, but he only making 2.3. I don't know if he would just easily
Yeah,
come
on
back
a
for
wall.
anything. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if he easily come back for anything if he got making a little bit more or a substantial amount more in the free agency. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? You know what, Sal? Don't be surprised. Okay, as soon as this playoffs end, I guarantee you there's going to be there will probably be at least 3 or 4 teams looking at Reggie Jackson.
I mean, yeah, he
Just
really had a great playoff, so I think there's gonna be a market for him coming off his how he performed in the playoffs.
right.
So
And Nicholas, like I said, Nicholas Batum, he's on the 1 year too. I I would hold you know yeah, Nicholas Batum is valuable because you got the leading
now you
plus and
now
minus guy,
now you breaking down all these dudes with 1 year contracts on top of Kawhi situation. The
right?
Clippers have a lot of decisions to make.
Right. That's why I mentioned. That's why I had to put it out there, though. You opened a good can of worms that need to be discussed right now. This is something that is yeah, Kawhi. We know is Kawhi whatever in that situation that you were just mentioned about. Okay, long term health and everything like that. But we also have to look at the guys like you said around him.
And you gotta believe a lot of the moves were made based on a healthy prime Kawhi.
Yeah.
And you see
Oh
what I'm saying?
man. Yeah, man.
And
Oh
if
my
he's not
God.
gonna be healthy, that's a problem. And even if he stays healthy, if he's not gonna be able to play at the same level for the next 2 to 3 years, like that's gonna be a
Mm,
problem for the
man. Um,
Clippers.
yeah, man, because you got me thinking, man. You really you got me thinking. I'm like, how they even do that? Because sir, I mentioned Serge Ibaka too, and but he's hurt. He was hurt too. But I felt like Serge
And he's
Ibaka.
coming off of back surgery. That ain't man. Back surgeries is never a good thing, especially when you're older. Never a
Yeah,
good sign of nothing.
yeah,
You do
yeah,
not
man.
want nobody touching your vertebrae.
Man, they
They
got
got a
they.
lot of concerns, brother. Even when you talk about Paul George, big contract.
Mhm. Yeah, he's on yeah, because he's on a 4 year max too. Man, yeah, that's gonna be. You know what? That might be the biggest story of the off season. So if it is, then I will come on here and definitely give you your flowers, just like I do everybody else. Because if you said something right, it's just like with Luda Ryder. Um, when you were talking, the guy, the Luda Ryder who you was talking to.
Yeah.
He had said everything that's going on right now that's transpiring with the media trying to do the things that they were doing with Brooklyn, and then they're also trying to they're trying to put under a microscope what Anthony said the other day, South Political, about Giannis uh, potentially making, getting Kyrie hurt. And remember, we had got into that, but we was
Yeah.
like, there's no possible way. But now the media has jumped on that, and they're trying to say, oh yeah, now they're trying to do everything that they can to try to destroy Giannis. And Lou the Rider was on point with that. He said, "Look, they're gonna try to destroy anybody that's not you know LeBron, and they're gonna try to do everything that they can to try to destroy these guys because they're not media friendly, and that's what they're doing."
Yeah, but I get the point of that. But then these people get mad at LeBron like it's his fault.
Yeah, nah, well, yeah,
That's what they're
it's
crazy
not
about it.
LeBron. It's not
That's
LeBron.
what's crazy about it. How you gonna get mad at somebody that had no control of that? You know,
Yeah,
you gotta realize he got that show to shop. It says a lot of controversial stuff about the media too.
right. Yeah.
That's not to
Not
like it.
yeah, and it's not just basketball players.
That's what I'm saying. So all these players get the smoke some kind of way. It
hmm
just we we like to coddle the players that we like and get them and give a nod to the eye of the crazy things they say and do. You know what
hmm
I'm saying? Even I'm gonna tell you like this. We do it even with our favorite players injured. Whether your favorite player is Kawhi, oh Kawhi gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he good.
Right.
He coming back. He coming back in game 4. He coming back in game 5. Like, come on, man. Dude is not coming back. We
Right.
just want to see we want to see
They
our
keep
favorite players
they
succeed.
keep their hope alive. True. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. If LeBron was sitting up there in the Raptors, they'd be killing him. You don't want to sit with his players. This, and that. Blah, 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 blah. But since Kawhi my favorite player, I'm gonna look at it a little bit different. Me personally, I don't care. I'm not saying as a point to be. I don't care about none of that. It just that's just how it is, man.
I feel like he. I mean, this is just my opinion. I feel
It's
like
a
he
bad
should.
optic. It's a bad optic for sure. Any player that's doing that.
Yeah, I feel like because I look at it like this. South. If I was hurt, South, you might need me. I might be, your close bro on the team or something. And just like you seeing me right there from the forefront, and me just saying, "Man, come on, South, man, come on, what the hell you doing, man?" Da 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 da. Just me getting in your ear or something like that. You'd be like, you know
Yeah.
what? Yeah, I'm slacking or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I was saying. But
This,
that's not. Kawhi is a different.
but
He's a
see, that's
different
that's
personality.
what. Now we finna dig deeper into this, man. Understand this. This is their best player on their team. You got the owner and all the other players, whether injured or not. You got the owner sitting courtside right there, invested into the game, showing that he engaged, whether he can go on that court or not. It's a bad optic for your best player to be up in the rafters. I mean, up in the box with his kids. You know, virtually unemotional to any part of the aspect of the game, because as a sport, as an athlete, man, you want to have some kind of relativity or some camaraderie with your players, showing that you in with them. That's what get players to buy and trust into what you got to say and do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a bad optic. It is. I don't care who was doing it. If it's the LeBron, Durant, anybody, don't look good. That's why I'm saying I don't know what's going on.
You think it's something deeper?
It could be. I don't know.
Well, they were talking about. I know this. Shout out to Ticket TV. He had mentioned this too, man. He said that. Now this I do know. He was talking about. Maybe you know something about this, South. I don't know if you ever had surgery on any portion of your lower extremities, but he was talking about something about elevation.
But
Uh,
I remember seeing
yeah,
Kawhi up there with his kids in his lap. You remember watching the game? Both his
yeah,
kids
yeah,
sitting in
yeah,
his
yeah,
lap.
yeah, yeah.
So if he
Yeah.
having problems sitting a certain way and all that, why you in the booth with kids in your lap at the game?
Right. Yeah.
That
But
don't- it-
they mentioned something about like him. He can't be on. the elevators or something like
Sound like he
that.
need to be at home then.
Huh?
Sound like he must need to be at home.
Yeah. And like I know, okay, I know for me around I would say around like October, no November, December, hey South, when it get real cold, hey
Yeah.
man, I start feeling it, and it be these little knickknack, like whether I had a sprain or whether I had like when I had been undercut and fell on my tailbone or something like that. I feel that, and that might have happened like maybe about like 12, 15 years ago or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, the changes of the weather and stuff like that. Yeah, like you could actually feel it. And I work out still, but you still feel
Yeah, when
those,
you done had surgery or both bones, you feel stuff like that.
yeah.
Like
Like
what they're talking about.
you ever thought about that, or has that happened to you firsthand?
Yeah, I get that in certain parts, like ankle or something that had an ankle sprain and this and that. Yeah, I feel that here and there. Little nick injuries. I ain't never broke a bone like that, but
Hmm.
I feel it from injuries I had in the past. But no matter how you explain this, bro, it's not a good. If all this is really going on where he can't sit or something, he can't do all this. Like, what do you expect for the future? What is the future to promise if all this is just you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
How can you feel safe in the future with this being your franchise player? Oh, he got to sit a certain way. His knee is. He got to sit out a certain amount of games so his knees to be right. Like
Hmm.
does that sound like a good investment?
Uh,
I mean, tell me. I don't know.
I mean, but see, so I understand the question that you're saying, but it's just like with AD, they knew what they were getting themselves into.
Yeah,
With AD for his level, and it's a prime example. Okay, yes, in terms of what they've accomplished, okay, Kawhi has accomplished more, but in terms of their status, they're both superstars.
yeah. But you
But
got to
they
AD's a
were
little
both
bit
injured.
younger too. AD's a little bit younger, and then AD is not on his last year in the option. I don't think.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But I will say this though, AD is young, but I think I told you this before. I told somebody else this before. AD is young, but his body is older because of the amount of injuries that he's had, and that's what's happening with Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, he's young. He ain't no spring chicken, but he's young. But his knees
but
are
but
are older.
the thing about this, AD has had his fair share of injuries, but all this stuff that's surrounding all the controversy surrounding Kawhi injuries is not to the magnitude. I mean, AD's injuries ain't don't have as much controversy as Kawhi's. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just a mystery. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? We don't know
Yeah.
what the hell going on.
So yeah, especially in San Antonio, man, they made a real big mockery of that.
Yeah, and we see what happened with that.
Yeah,
Who knows? You get in the next season, or are you getting the off season and Kawhi like, man, he don't trust the training staff. He don't trust he got. You know what I'm saying? What do we know?
right. Do you think that because some people have said it like if let's say like Kawhi was actually playing and he actually lost, some people felt like he would have been like, you know what, I'm chucking the deuces. I'm gonna go ahead and head to Miami.
I mean, we seen him leave a team for all the information we knew because he didn't trust the training staff.
Mm.
Whether it's a valid point or not, some people look at that as like, really? To the Spurs
Right.
fan, they like, really, nigga? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And them Spurs fans, you say what you want, South man. Those are some loyal fans.
What you
The
mean? Say what you want? I
Spurs and
know.
Mavericks fans, they are loyal, man. They stick with, they ride for you, man.
You see, organization that developed him and had a lot of and had a pretty good prestige history before he come and developed him and he contributed to winning the championship. He
Hmm.
easily said, you know what, it's time for me to go
Right.
without a, you know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, man, this is interesting, man. I don't know how people looking at this, but I don't know what's going on.
I'm paying attention to it. I'm definitely gonna got I got my eye on it. Um, I'm I'm anxious to see what's gonna come out of this scenario because some guys are gonna feel like, okay, look, we've held it down while this superstar has been hurt. Yes, we love Kawhi, man. He's the face of the franchise, but
Yeah.
we've held it down. We went ahead and we won without Kawhi against Utah. These guys are going to be looking like, okay, hey, look, and if they make it to the finals, which I don't really see that happening because I think Phoenix is going to go close it out tonight. Um, they're definitely going to be like, well, shit. We
We
Some
we
people
trade
might say they're worth more than Kawhi. They might feel that a value, not money, but they
some
feel
people
like
look at it,
I'm just value.
they might look at it, we can get rid of Kawhi and become a deeper team. I don't know. But one thing that disturbs me about Kawhi is he doesn't bring the leadership factor to your team. So you have to be cognitive of what type of players you have around him
Mhm.
because he's not really a leader. He doesn't
Yeah,
really galvanize people. He goes out there and produce like the best of the best production wise, but leadership is important. You know that in sports.
yeah. He's not a vocal leader. I think he's just more about leading by example. You don't think so?
But you know that's lean by example. Don't lean by example. Just don't get it done, man. You gotta have people that talk and hold people accountable. You know what I mean? That's you really do. That only goes so far. When you bounced out, Polo.
My bad, sir. Um,
Now I'm
yeah,
saying lean by example only goes so far, man. You
no,
need
you're right. You're on
yeah,
point. You're right.
especially a young developed team they got. You need somebody that's gonna talk to people, hold them accountable. You know that's why I think I listened to Ticket is um I yeah I did chime in on him. He was talking about he made a good point. You got to have those players. Everybody would love to see Kawhi on the sideline talking to players, certain
Mhm.
situations, or you know what I'm saying. These are some of the other players in the industry that's been there on the sideline at least.
Mhm.
Get a look or just talk. We seen LeBron and AD do it. When they was out extensive period of time. You know what I mean. We seen even former players like Wade and a lot of other players. It just naturally was done. Jordan done it as well. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? But I'm not saying he have to do it, but you really gotta think about your future. Do you keep guys like Rondo? Is he value he brings value to your team because he brings leadership and accountability to young players and veteran players. But if you're not, and if your best player is not gonna be that type of player, it's important that you have some type of player like that around.
And another thing is I like how you mentioned Rondo. See, a thing that was good that we have to really recognize is the maturation and the evolution of Reggie Jackson. If it wasn't for, yes, Reggie Jackson, he was cool with him and Paul George. They buddies and everything. But I
Yeah.
think to me more so it's Rondo that has been really showing him, okay, hey, look, if you want to win championship and you want to be a winner, you're gonna really have to step up your game. And I think him being around Rondo, a lot of people are not really giving Rondo that type of credit, and he definitely deserves that because Reggie Jackson, he's playing phenomenal, man. They're losing, but Reggie's doing what he can, man.
And you gotta remember, we doing this with Rondo too. You kind of doing this with Rondo. You assuming that Rondo will just stay. He might be wanting to move on. If you know what I mean.
Hmm.
So that's the biggest glaring problem that I see with Kawhi moving forward. Me, franchise owner, a phenomenal talent. It makes perfect sense to keep a Kawhi, to invest in a Kawhi. If I know it's a great chance that he gonna continue for his future to be healthy and play at the level that we've been accustomed to him playing recently. But you still gotta take into consideration this is not a guy that's heavy on leadership abilities and holding players accountable for certain things they do. That's fine. I mean, this is kind of who he's been his whole career. We can't expect nobody to just change and turn to somebody else. 8, 9 years into their career. But you want to have players like a Rondo, veteran leadership, and who have won a little bit around.
What
So
what about that? What about the situation with Cousins? That's what I'm just like, man, you brought him in here and you barely using him. Like what is the point? Like if you got Cousins here, you treat him like you treating Patrick Patterson better
Patrick, I mean, Cousins is a very talented offensive player, but he has very low IQ, and he's in bad positions in a lot of. He has a very low IQ, man. Even when you go back to the game, man, Polo, we learned this in high school and middle school, bro. At the end of a game, you shooting free throws and you're trying to miss, you got to hit the rim. I've known that since middle school. This fool get in there and throws the ball off the backboard. Did you see that?
than.
And then it's like little stuff like that, man. Like he's a phenomenal talent, but he's always doing low IQ stuff in the situations in the game, man. Even in the alley hoop game, you
Um,
remember there were 0.7 seconds. Why are you shading the perimeter trying to stop the dude from getting the ball to the perimeter? And then he got a more easier look to throw an alley hoop in game two
right.
to win the game. Like little stuff like that. That's what I guess people don't see that. But Cousins, he just IQ. He got terrible IQ. And he
I
always in
mean,
bad positions, certain situations, huh?
but see, when you played that first game, because I think it was the first game that you were talking about, right? It was the
You talking
first.
about
It was the
game two?
first. It was the first game he did that.
Game two is when they could have won. Paul George missed the free throws, and then came down and had the alley hoop to game winning alley hoop.
I'm talking about the free throw situation.
Oh, the free throw situation was this past game.
Yeah,
Game.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm like, what are you doing, man?
wait, just the fact. Yeah, that was yeah, because he had went to the line. Okay, all right. Now, see, on when he played the first game though, he he was he played 13 minutes. He scored 11 points in 13 minutes. That's pretty good. Now he shot 40%, but I mean, for 13 minutes, you know what I'm saying, and play with when you talk about a guy that used to be a superstar. I mean, you can't expect much, but even
I,
before that, he hadn't played in like 5 games since that, and then he played. The last time he had played was earlier in that Utah series, and that was only 11 minutes. So
I
you
think the
can't
problem.
really. Uh,
I think the problem with Cousins is either he gonna give you some good minutes or he gonna give you some real bad minutes. Nothing in between.
right.
I don't think it's nothing in between.
And that Phoenix game is now starting, man. So you got Phoenix closing it out, huh?
It look, yeah, I would say so, man. Say
Uh-huh.
so, because you know what?
Right.
If you look at last game,
Hmm.
Clippers, you can't lose a game like that. The Clippers, you can't lose a game. You know why? Because Payne had a bad game. Y'all supposed to win those. You can't lose that game. You at
Right.
home and Cameron Payne didn't play good. Now you back in Phoenix.
Yeah.
They shot Phoenix shot bad and Cameron Payne played bad off the bench. And you still lost. Now you back in Phoenix. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then if he get off this game, it's gonna be hard for them to win.
But he's still kind of, he had the ankle and everything.
I know he got an ankle injury, but
Yeah.
if you told me that Phoenix was gonna shoot bad and Cameron Payne was gonna be under 10 points, you gonna be saying Clippers gonna win this one, wouldn't you? At home and they lost.
They up 7-0 right now. We got
Oh,
the huh?
The Clippers up 7-0.
Yep. They up
That's a
and
good
they in
start.
Phoenix. Now a lot of people they sleep on Phoenix crowd, man. I was telling this to Hitman. Um, I said, man, yeah, we all like to talk about Utah, having a real noisy arena or the Garden, man. But Phoenix, Phoenix, they get loud up in there too, man.
Yeah, Phoenix has had a pretty decent crowd.
Yeah,
Pal. But
they be dedicated in the mud, man. Like they, them Phoenix fans, man. They passionate though. But see, I didn't know that I forgot that they had played Boston, so they had been to the finals more than once. I only thought that I knew that they had been to another finals. I just couldn't remember what year it was, but it was 1976.
okay.
Yeah,
The,
it was
but
19.
the it'd be nice to see if Clippers could make it a longer series. It'd be more basketball to play. Or
And
I don't.
Reggie Jackson just dunked on somebody. But yeah, hey, you know what, man? They got to carry this. I don't think the Clippers are gonna just go down without a fight. Now, if they could get one tonight and then get another one, man, it's gonna be. Hey, the pressure's really gonna be on Phoenix.
To be honest with you, if the Clippers, if the Clippers advance to the finals,
Hmm.
they might. I would think they might consider getting rid of Kawhi.
What?
I mean, think about it.
Hey, man, don't say that, South, man.
I don't know. Man. See, I don't.
Damn, bro.
I don't have. Listen,
That nigga is cutthroat.
no, I'm not cutthroat. I'm not cutthroat, but I
Hey,
don't
hey,
feel safe
hey,
with his health,
hey, South, that's some Danny Ainge type shit, nigga.
bro.
That's some
They get to
that's
the
some
finals,
shrewd
bro.
businessman type shit.
Bro, man, I don't trust Kawhi health, man. I just don't.
That nigga trying to do. That nigga trying to do what he did to Isaiah Thomas and shit. Like, nah, but I understand though, man. Like, yeah, that's a valid point. I don't want nothing like that to take place, but I mean, it's something that has to be looked at though. It's
Yeah.
something that has to be looked at.
I mean, maybe I could be out of line. You know, the players on the team might feel some type of way if Kawhi, if they were to do something with Kawhi.
Yeah, man, because even though he be hurt and the Clippers are up 19-5. I mean 16-5, my bad. Um, even though he's been hurt, you can't deny the fact that he's been hurt. Now Clippers are up 18-5. Monty Williams, man, Monty Williams is not. Monty was like, what the hell? I know he gonna get in there. Get made behind.
Them guys got a lot of fight in them.
Huh?
Club got her fight in them, man.
Yeah, they've been through this before though.
They'll shoot
That's their MO. They like to come back, the comeback Clippers.
but they shoot their way into a game and they'll shoot their way out too.
They can't.
That's the thing with the Hawks.
Tonight.
Thing with the Hawks, I get the Hawks one more game maybe. They don't
One
win.
more game.
Yeah.
I think they can win 2 straight.
No.
If they really put their mind to it, because listen, you got to think about it. Phoenix got the pressure is on Phoenix because it's like they're not short-handed. They at full strength. I mean, even though Chris Paul he might not be 100%, but they the ones that's under pressure.
No, I'm talking about No, I'm talking about the Hawks.
Oh, you talking about the Hawks? Okay, yeah. Nah, I don't.
The Hawks might win one more game.
Nah, I think that's over with. I think they're gonna go ahead and put Greek up in there. What's up to you? What's up with you, Go Mike? I see you in the building, man. Go Mike, nigga, where you been, nigga? Damn, that is.
Going on, Go Mike.
That nigga been in hide, nigga. Like, I'm like, where my nigga at, man?
Go Mike a rapper.
Yeah. You Lamont made a video, a music video trolling. Yeah, I know, man. Hey, but Mike, hey, that's gonna help your album sales.
Gonna go viral.
That's gonna help your streams, man.
Viral on hip hop on World Star.
He said World Star.
That's all it takes. Go viral on World Star.
Yeah. Shit, on TikTok, shit.
But yeah, man.
Yeah. Be on TikTok, man. You straight, man. Hey, go Mike, man. Go ahead and get on TikTok, man, and rap and dance at the same time, bro. For real. I'm gonna be like, nah. Hey, me and South Political, man. We came up. We gonna manage this dude. I'm like, South Political, man. He already business minded. Anyways, I'm business minded. So hey, look, hey, we gonna go ahead. We gonna be your management team. We gonna get you right, man.
You gonna manage him?
Hey,
Polo record.
Hey, South Political, man. You gonna be like Claude and Ray. We can't get right and shit.
No.
You gonna be
the Suge Knight of YouTube.
Nah, man. Well, shout out to Go Mike, man. Yeah, that nigga let her flow, man. Hey, you know what though, man? You said I made a basketball video featuring a humble rap song. Oh, okay. All right, I see you in there. South Political, man. Who you like in rap, man? I never know who.
You talking about current rappers?
Huh?
Come on, current rappers.
Yeah, well, all time. You know what I'm saying? Clippers up 25 right now.
What?
Yeah, they up 20-5.
I thought you said they up 25. I'm like, dang.
Oh nah, the score is 20-5.
I mean, my favorite rap artist of all time is Tupac. I mean, I like Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
You got Tupac, Biggie. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
um, just the main commercial people: Tupac, Biggie, Nas. LL. I
I thought
mean,
I thought you was more into the southern.
no, I'm just saying commercial wise, but I love UGK. UGK. You know, Zero, probably my favorite Texas rapper. Zero.
There you go. Now you talking.
He's probably the most talented Texas rapper. A lot of people don't know. Zero a monster.
Yeah, yeah.
Zero.
Man, hey, look, I fuck with Zero. I feel like if if he really wanted to go to if he really wanted to go commercial, he would, but he chose not to.
He not packaged enough to do it.
What you
Zero,
mean?
Zero can collab, but go full commercial as an artist. He wasn't packaged to do that. He just not built like that. He too street. He got too much street in him. He could be semi like Jada Kiss.
Yeah.
Jada Kiss was packaged to be a super mainstream rapper. You
Mhm.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people know him because you know where he's from and he gonna put in work being in New York. But that's kind of how Zero is. Zero is not packaged for the mainstream. For people, everybody to like him and have that optic and visual for you to gravitate to him. I like some
When
Nipsey Hussle too. Nipsey Hussle, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole straight. Who else? There's a lot of new artists I know about. I was never that big on Chameleon there. He real monotone. He can rap like hell, but he just monotone.
Yeah, but that motherfucker's smart as hell.
Oh yeah,
For what he did.
yeah. I like Trey. Trey, very versatile. Very see Trey was very. He's not as talented as Zero, but he's more business savvy and he's more marketable.
Yeah.
And Trey is more sociable than Zero. See, Zero not sociable too.
Yeah, yeah. They
Zero
butted
type
heads
people.
too, man.
Yeah,
ABN, they butted heads.
yeah. Zero not business savvy like Trey. He not sociable, and he not packaged to be a mainstream. But to me, he one of the most talented, just raw talent as an artist. Can sing, can
Oh
rap fast,
yeah.
all this stuff, man. This dude is ridiculous, man.
Yeah. What was
I
that?
mean, he did. He did. I mean, what kind of created a commercial lane for him is when he done that. He done the track with Rick Ross, and then a lot of people start to know about him.
What and then also the get thrown.
Yeah, Get Throw kind of semi done it, but what really done it was that Ross, because like a lot of people started talking about him just in the southeast. A lot of people that know underground stuff know about Zero in the
Yeah.
south. But when he done that thing with Ross, a lot of people that just listen to commercials started like, "Who is this dude?"
But you know what though? You know what though, South? Uh when I think of Zero, you think of a guy like Charlie Boy. Now see, I had an opportunity to meet Charlie Boy, and man, Charlie Boy, you want to talk about a grinder, man? Charlie Boy is a grinder, but I felt like Charlie Boy, for as much as people that how he was underground and stuff like that,
No, Charlie
Charlie
Ball.
Boy, he to me he had this is just my opinion. He had a commercial sound too,
Yeah,
but he was very versatile. But I felt like I wanted him to go because I think what's the name did I feel good? Did that go? Did that go around the world? Did that go national? Did a lot of
I think
people know about that national, or was it just mainly in the South?
it's Charlie Boy track.
Yeah, I know. It was hot up in Georgia.
What's
Um, remember, I look good. I look fly.
Oh yeah.
That's why.
Since I've been up here, man, I'm really detached from a lot of the because music different here.
Hmm.
Texas culture
Oh yeah, I
music is
fuck with
different
the
from
A.
Atlanta. Know
Oh,
what I'm
y'all don't
saying?
you don't do
Texas,
it. You don't do the rap though, huh?
no, yeah, I don't do a lot of this Atlanta rap, man. I can't do it. I like certain artists, like the Outcasts, Ti's, and stuff like that. But Gucci
Mhm.
Man and all them, hell no, man. I never like Gucci Man.
You said you said everyone's hurt. Everyone for the Suns hurt. Is Kawhi playing? Nah, he's not playing. Go Suns playing. Sorry, step the fuck up. Put the Clippers out. And he said salute, salute, Mr. Sal.
What's going on, Goat Mike? Somebody told
Go
me you
Mike,
working.
man.
Somebody told me you working on a video with Lil Nas X.
With who? Damn.
Who? He turned into Scooby Doo.
Hey, go gonna fuck around, man. Do a video with Lil Kiki, man. They gonna be like, what the fuck? Hey, go get Lil Kiki on your team, man. I guarantee you, man. You'll be on that Kawhi, on that Kwame,
Gonna get
on
Yellow
them
Bees.
Kwame numbers.
Yeah, gonna get Yellow Bees on your collab. You and Yellow Bee.
You don't like Yellow Bees?
Yeah, I like Yellow Bee. He tough.
Mhm.
Tough little dude.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, man. Now that we on that, look, man. Now you know what's been going on out here and stuff. You know what I'm saying with the whole situation.
Not really.
You know.
I tell you,
Oh, you
a lot of
don't?
stuff back home. I might hear a little bit about it, but I'll be knowing like that, man.
Well, you know about Mo3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, um, there was a lot of speculation, man, about like because there was a lot of stuff that went on, man. One of the things that went on was the beef between Yella Beezy and Roy Lee. R.I.P. You know who Roy Lee was, the comedian.
I done heard of him, man.
Yeah,
Go
he
ahead.
was he was from Dallas. He was like an underground comedian, man. He was well on his way for stardom. Uh, he had got into it with Yellow Beezy or whatnot, and they had a little bit. Well, Roy Lee was cool with uh, Mo3 and that little camp and everything, and then they had their little beef going on and stuff like that or whatever. And then of course you had Yellow Beezy, and then you had Trap Boy Freddy, all that stuff. And so they were all butting heads over some, you know, let's just call it what it is, over some street shit. Now, Mo3 ended up getting killed, you know, and then there was like, people speculating and saying stuff. DeMarcus Cousin with the dunk, uh, there were people speculating that he, might have been involved in all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Then also, because Mo3 was Boosie's artist. He was under Boosie. He was signed to Boosie, signed to Badass. Now, then when he was down here in Dallas, well, guess what happened? Boosie, his little van had ended up getting shot and everything. You know what I'm saying? And so there was a lot of stuff, that was behind that stuff, and I was just wondering if you heard anything, what I'm saying? Because I know that when I was down here, these guys were always getting into it, but I'm just like, man, all y'all should just come together, and it's power in numbers, man. Why y'all butting head to the point where it's got to be, take somebody's life and all that other stuff? But it was a lot of street stuff beneath the surface that a lot of people didn't know about. I think he fell out.
Yeah, I messed around and knocked myself out, but um, I missed a little bit of that. He said he doing Space Jam with Go James drinking Sprite and cranberry. What the hell, stuff?
I think that Space Jam gonna be all right though. I mean, I think I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it might be. But I missed the tail end. I messed around and knocked myself out on accident.
What did you hear so far?
I heard when you were saying I kind of knew a little bit about that. It's kind of some conflict that possibly Yellow Beezy and his camp has something to do with it.
Yeah, I was just saying basically why they beefing, you know what I'm saying? Why don't they just go ahead? I know it's some street stuff, but I was just like, man, why don't they just come together, you know what I'm saying? It's power in numbers and everything, why
But you know,
why is it taking a guy's
Pimp
life,
C
you
was
know what
trying to
I'm
do
saying?
a lot of that, man.
Hmm?
Remember before Pimp C died, he was trying to connect a lot of the Texas rappers and
Right.
stop all that beef. He was trying to stop Slim, because Slim Thug and Zero beefing around that time.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah,
tried
yeah.
to piece that
Hmm.
up. I don't know, man.
But I don't think it was that to that magnitude.
No, it wasn't to that magnitude, but a lot of the beefs that were going on when he got out of jail, he was trying to patch them up, whether they were serious or not.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That was what he was doing, especially in Texas. But
Hmm.
you know,
Who I wish wouldn't like he would just kept going. That boy Kirk Bangs.
wow. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of. I mean, it's another dude. It's like a Nigerian dude off in Houston too that's getting rap his ass off.
Hmm.
What's his name? I can't never remember his name.
Not Papa Roo.
Nah, not Papa. Papa Ru Jamaican.
Yeah, I was about to say not Papa.
Hey, you ever heard that song Zero and Papa Ru done looking good?
Hmm. Should go
Yeah, I'm
hard.
talking about Zero. Man,
I
that nigga
I had a
turn.
chance. Hey Sal, I had a chance to go to the Ozone Awards, man, but I didn't go.
Oh, we talking about that year that Trey slapped Mike Jones in 2008.
Oh shit, yeah, yeah. I wanted to go, man, but I
uh,
didn't go. I had a chance to go. They was all finna ride down there. I said no.
Negroes in Texas hated the fact that at that time Mike Jones had got a little fame,
Hmm.
and a lot of people outside of Texas thought that he was like when he had his little run, his little year or a little bit over a year
Hmm.
run in the commercial.
Hmm.
Like a lot of people outside of Texas thought that he was like the shit in Texas like that. I was like, man, people like Mike
No.
Jones, but when you go to Texas, ain't nobody
Mm-mm.
riding around paying Mike Jones like that.
Hey, but he did it off of just saying his name, though, man.
Yeah,
Mike who?
yeah. And you know that, and you know a lot of niggas didn't like that, especially Trey,
Hmm.
because when you talk about the history of Texas rap, what Mike Jones implemented was not what Texas rap is about. You know that. You've been there long enough. Like this
Hmm.
goofy kind of type rap, man, that's not what Texas built on.
Yeah, they weren't taking him serious,
Yeah, it
or
ain't.
he wanted to be taken serious.
Yeah, and niggas felt me, and you know the perception. Like Texas people, they they high on perception as far as like this. That ain't us. Yeah, he doing that. He doing whatever he is doing, but that ain't Texas like that, especially Houston. Like, no, nigga, Houston got a deep history, starting with the Ghetto Boys, talking about the life, talking about the streets. That's what Tech. You know what I'm saying? Pepsi them
Shoot, man.
they
Even
talking about real life, living real life, the high life, doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Real shit going on in your life.
right. A lot of people, like they don't talk about K Reno.
Yeah.
They don't talk about K Reno.
Botany
They
boys.
don't talk. They don't mention how R.I.P. They don't mention see Fat Pat. They don't
Yeah.
mention Fat Pat, man. They don't mention Big Mo. They don't mention man. See Big Pokey. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
understand how lyrical Big
Hardest
Pokey
hit
was,
in the
man.
litter.
Hmm?
Yeah, the hardest pit in the litter.
Yeah, the hardest man.
You don't know
They
about
don't
that.
understand, man. Big Pokey used to go hard. Look, I got love for Pat Pat. Don't get me wrong. I got love for Fat Pat. That's my nigga now. And of course,
Big
little
Pope. Ain't
Keisha.
nobody really fucking with in that little right there arena. Ain't nobody messing with Fat Pat though. That Ghetto Dream boy.
Ghetto Dream. Mm-hmm.
Man, that
Nah,
Ghetto
but
Dream. That shit came out, boy. And
I
see the
think.
thing about Texas rap,
Mm-hmm.
that's where the soul come from. Especially when Pimp C started making start a lot of production from Pimp C, man, that was all church and soul and blues, man. That's
Yeah,
all he
yeah,
did that
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
That's all
I didn't know he played multiple instruments.
man.
I didn't know Pimp C. He played like multiple instruments.
And you know that Sweet James Jones album, he cut the fool with that when he got out of the Sweet
Yeah.
James Jones story. Man,
Hey, that
that shit became real.
hey Sal, that players anthem, the national players anthem when Andre did that poetry in the beginning, that was one of the to me, that was one of the defining moments to say, okay, you have to give Andre 3000 his credit as one of the top lyricists of all time because I was so sick of Andre 3000 being slept on. I, I got love for Big Boy, but Andre 3000 was clearly on a whole nother level.
Oh yeah. Andre 3000 tough. He had his own little style. It's actually a dude, Marcus Brady. He sounds just like him. To be on T Price. I
Mm-hmm.
be listening with him, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
This Negro sounds just like Andre 3000, man.
Hmm.
I swear, man. I'm like, man, bro, how do you sound just like? I mean, he sounds just like him, man. You don't know
Right.
him?
Mm-mm.
If you ever,
I probably heard him like once or twice, but
bro, it was funny. I was like, man, who you got on here? Andre 3000? Everybody started laughing when I got on there on this panel. It was one of the first times I got on T Price panel. I was like, who is this dude? Sound like Andre 3000. But yeah, man, you on point with that. Andre one of the toughest lyricists. You know, I liked it the Outkast when they started getting into some of this um um alternative stuff. I wasn't too fond of that, but you know,
you said alternative.
yeah, they started
You
getting that's
talking
when
about the hey ya and all that.
yeah, that boy, I was in
But
college.
that was smart though. That was smart to
Nah,
me. That was smart because they had to appeal
yeah, that's
to
their biggest song. White folks love that in college, boy. I'm
yeah.
talking, but I'm Southern playalistic, all that. That's my
Yeah,
me and
exactly.
you. I mean,
Hey, listen,
the
I
Dudley.
can name three guys right now that can play multiple instruments that a lot of people didn't know they could. That boy CeeLo or Nas Barkley, CeeLo Green, he could play multiple instruments. Of course, Pimp C, he could play multiple instruments.
Both of them can
Flavor
sing.
Flav, Flavor Flav could play multiple instruments. A lot of people don't know that. Flavor Flav could play multiple instruments. Hey, Celtic Nation, you said Andre 3000 has some great verses on Outkast first two albums. Man, on all of the albums, it's not on all of the albums. Plus, the Dungeon Family. You cannot walk in the room and mention Dungeon Family without mentioning Outkast or especially Andre 3000. Really, I just know him as Andre. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't even call him 3000.
But then,
I take it way back to like what South Solidical was saying, Southern playalistic Cadillac funky music. You feel me?
that's they best stuff to me still today, man.
I take it back to Elevator, me and you.
Yeah. Yo, my man, yo, cuz. That's the shit, man. I remember when that came out, man. I was young, but I had to grow up so fast because the situation I in, man. We partied for a whole summer. I partied for a whole summer with grown folks playing it. They
Hmm.
got me on the goddamn changing out CDs, all that. That's why I don't. I think that's why I don't like partying now. When I was little, man, my uncle stayed with us. It always I could just go in his room. They drinking, smoking. It's like a set up party. We watching TVs, listening to
Hmm.
Scarface, Too Short. Like I always been around that when I was little. It's like a party scene.
Hey, he said my favorite MCs of all time are Big J, Nas, and Redman. Speaking of Nas, you know it's the 25th anniversary of It Was Written, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. It Was Written. I listen to the regular version, and damn sure listen to the Screw version, especially Street
Watch
Dreams.
them niggas that be close to
Street
you.
Dreams Screwed. Man, that go hard. That's why I love DJ Screw to this day because he did East Coast too. When he screwed Street Dreams, nigga, that did it for me. For real. Man, that nigga Screw, I love the fact that he was able because he showed up. A lot of people don't realize that DJ Screw, he went to New York and he won a battle. He won a DJ battle. But they don't tell you that. He flew to Houston and they did I think it was like a DJ battle. What's his name was talking about it? Lil Kiki was on the radio.
Yeah, that I fuck with Nas too. Even when people used to make fun of me, like, man, when you listen to the East Coast, I listen to everything. Man.
Shit, Nas go hard, nigga.
Yeah,
Nas go hard.
watch them
Nigga, I
niggas
don't give
never
a fuck
close to
what
you.
they say about not Nas, Jadakiss,
About
a
smoking
nigga
you.
Styles P, nigga.
Never personal. Nowadays is the ways.
Hell yeah. The Firm, Foxy Brown, and shoot, AZ, even though he could have did more, you know what I'm saying, but I still fuck with AZ, you know what I'm saying. You said personally, It Was Written was my favorite Nas album. Yeah,
Illmatic hard though, man.
yeah,
Illmatic, bro.
Illmatic. Yeah, it was. I like It Was Written though because It Was Written came out. That came out when I was like in the seventh grade, and I was still the tapes and the CDs from from the
Look at
play. Yeah, that's back in the days when we had tapes and
what you think
CDs.
the best.
South man, we would get them, and my mom, you know, what I'm saying she was finding out like I would be in the room just bumping bumping whatever was playing or whatever. She'd be like, "Where you getting all this music from?" Da, 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 da. Nigga, man, my mom found out I was stealing these tapes and CDs. Man, she took my whole goddamn stereo out my room, all that stuff, man. I had a shoebox full of them, man. Like hey, you know about the shoebox,
The shoebox,
South,
cards, all type of shit.
because I had to hide them, man. My moms would go through my room. She would go through my room and find all the other stuff. I remember one time, man. She even she found some stuff that, man. Look, I blame. Look, she can't get mad at me, but I had something in my shoebox I shouldn't have had. I had some condoms in there. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, and she like, what is you doing with the da 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 da? Like, man, well, how you gonna tell me? Cause pops wasn't around like that. So I'm like, how you gonna tell me, okay, look, if I did anything, you know what I'm saying, wear a condom and everything, then you find it and you get mad, you over here gotta take me to church and all this other stuff, tell everybody in church to pray for me and all this other stuff. I'm like, man, God dog. And I was like, half of the girls that was up in there, man, they was doing things because they was up in there eating saltine crackers and shit. And you know what that means. I was like, damn, okay, she pregnant and shit like that. But they were, and then I'll listen, hey, South, I'll be like, okay, you tell me not to do anything, but then such and such get pregnant and everything, and I'll be like, well, what about her? Well, she made a mistake. She made a mistake. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's all right because she a female. I'm like, what?
But use a Hellraiser, will you?
Huh?
Use a Hellraiser, will you?
Man, shoot. Man, hey, listen, the only reason I went to church, South, was to look at the females and to go out to eat afterwards. That's the only thing. I'm telling you, man, I'll be a church man. I'll be up in there falling asleep. But then, like my mom, she started making me, be active up in there. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, do something. She said either sing in the choir or usher, as they say. And I was, I had to usher, man. But then right afterward, I'll be high. I go get, go do some stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Go drinking and all that other stuff. And then I come back. But see, I fought myself for doing that type of shit though, South, because um, I, you know my, you know my mom, she was just trying to, look out for your boy. So you said I'm from Boston. I grew up on Mobb Deep, Biggie, and Jay-Z.
Let me ask you this, Polo. What you think the best
Hmm.
rap album of all time? Your favorite?
The best rapper,
The rap album.
best
What you
rap album. Oh man, does it have to just be one?
can't be no easy question. I
Huh?
already know what you thinking of. It's a couple of it ain't the
Oh,
granddaddies. I know the chronic.
okay,
I know you thinking of the chronic.
okay. Look. All right, I got three of them. Of course, Ready to Die. No, you know that's that's just gonna do it for you. Ready to Die. Uh, I would probably have to go with um. A lot of people gonna laugh. Uh, Muddy Waters. With Redman.
Oh, you a big red man guy?
Hell yeah, man! I fuck with Redman. Um, and let's see. You know what? I'm probably gonna have to go with this. 8 Ball MJG Space Age, man.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
They say Pippin. I used to have that on my ringtone on my first cell phone. I
yeah, a
had.
lot, but and they don't.
Say Pippin,
Sal,
huh?
you already know when I said that, but see, man, I gotta throw some other considerations in there. I do like the three. A lot of people don't listen. A lot of people don't think this, but Project Pat album went hard. I'm from the projects. That album went hard.
I like Project Pat production, but I'm not too big fan of him rapping.
And man, shit, that motherfucker. Nah, hey, Sal, look, nigga, before a basketball game or before like a football game, nigga, or if you was, you play. You remember how it was play head busters, sipping on scissor up and all that other stuff, man. Shoot, that's what
I'm
was
not
being
big on
played in
his
the
rap.
locker room. And then guess what? Guess what else they would play? Guess what else everybody would get amped to before they ran out on the court? Them niggas would be up in there singing Rough Riders anthem. So I'm like, you got South in the motherfucking locker room, and then you come out with the East Coast Rough Riders shit. when we get ready to, because they was like stop, drop, shut them down over there. Everybody just get hype off of that shit, man. So it was kind of a mixture of everything.
Yeah, I wasn't big on Project Fed rapping, but songs he produced, yeah, I mean, it's second to none. As far as
Cause
especially
the niggas beats went hard. Now I
yeah,
got okay. Wait a minute, Sal. You know what? I got another album I like too. I did like uh uh Mystical. His Unpredictable.
yeah. With his
That
face in front
album.
of him. That's the one that had the man right here.
Yeah, the man right here.
Yeah. You kind of picked a lot of underdog ones other than Ready to Die.
Shit, Mystical wasn't underground.
No, I'm saying like underdog when you talk about the greatest of greatest albums.
Oh
Ready
yeah,
to
that
Die,
man.
like
You want to
us.
be down with me? That nigga Mystical went hard, Sal.
Yeah, he was a rapping James Brown.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to explain it.
Yeah, that nigga still look young too, man.
Yeah. Um, I got to start it out with all eyes on me.
Okay. Oh yeah. My bad.
All
I'm sitting.
That's that right there, man. That's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Chronic is off the chain.
Which one, original
Yeah,
or kind of
come on now.
2000?
Come on now. You know the original, man. That when that
Oh,
shit
okay.
came
All
out,
right. Well, nah, I gotta ask. Some
man,
people
come
like the other
on.
one.
No, ain't nothing, bro. That's top three all
Mm-hmm.
time, man. That you talking about when that came out, man.
Mm-hmm.
We were young, but you remember, boy, niggas played that a whole summer.
Oh yeah.
Rolling in my 6'4", doom doom doom, and all the ladies said Snoop Dogg, Good Dre, let
Mm.
me ride. Hell, I'm gonna have you listening to it this week, but
Hell yeah, man. I still listen to it to this day. I know Big Who be listening to that. Shout out to LA.
and later I need to throw an East Coast one in there.
Well, you already had. I thought you said Life After Death. No, I thought
No,
no, that was somebody else. That was Celtics Nation. He said Life After Death.
mm. You could say Life After Death. Life After Death's a monster.
Oh, yeah. I thought Ready to Die was better. That's just I
I mean,
don't know.
both of them motherfuckers are off the chain, man. I
Yeah,
think I
that's
think Life After Death sold more, but they still some monsters.
I, and you see a lot of people don't know this. I was like one of the only niggas in my school that was bumping Wu Tang.
I never really liked the whole group Wu Tang. I like certain people.
Oh,
I
like
didn't like
Method Man.
yeah, Method Man, my guy, man.
Huh. I listened to him all, but yeah, Method Man. That nigga's versatile than a motherfucker though, Sal. That
Yeah,
motherfucker be acting, nigga, hosting shows and shit, doing comedy and shit.
yeah. And that nigga a beast with them collabs, boy. He got a lot
Yeah.
of epic collabs. He
Hmm.
didn't he ain't I mean, he didn't have the best single albums and nothing like that, but collabs, that nigga on a
Yeah.
lot of features.
The first Tikal went hard, but after that, Tikal 2000, whatever, I wasn't really into that.
You like Redman more than Mel.
Huh?
But you like Redman more than Mel.
Yeah. Yeah, because Redman, if you listen to How High, Redman, to me, Redman, nigga, just listen to the last portion of Red.
Did you watch the verses, man? It was kind of weird, man. I turned it off. It just didn't seem right. It was
What?
weird.
How high?
No, Redman and Method Man had a verses. You didn't see it?
What?
No, but don't tell
The
me.
verse. Oh no. I didn't watch the verses.
It was weird, man. It didn't make sense to me. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like, why would they? Because a lot of the
they
songs
got
they
a
were,
lot of songs together, don't they? Like,
yeah. It's just like with Raekwon and now I did watch the Raekwon versus Ghostface Killer. I don't know why I didn't watch Johnny Blaze versus Brick City, but I did watch Raekwon and Ghostface Killer because I was like, okay, when you doing verses, you supposed to be going at each other like a Jeezy and a Gucci or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not like Ghostface Killer and
Now
Raekwon because they on all the fucking songs.
yeah, you can't have two niggas that done so many collabs. Yeah, once one use a song, what you gonna use? Damn, nigga, I took the one I was gonna use.
Right.
Why would you crazy?
Do you like Jeezy though? Now, no. Wait a minute. I got to throw another one up there though. South. I forgot, man. Damn, man. It's so many of them. See, I like
You gonna put that riding dirty in
diplomatic immunity.
there? You would have
With Dipset.
put that riding dirty in there.
Yeah, riding dirty, man. Man, dog, you a Trillo G. I like Trillo G with Bum B.
Riding dirty.
Huh?
Nah, I'm just singing that riding dirty.
Yeah, man. Right, man. Bum B. See, Bum B is slept on as from a lyrical perspective. You gotta
What?
put Bum B up in there. But a lot of people they're like, oh, he from the South, so no.
You know his hardest verses from that murder. You remember
Murder,
murder,
murderer.
man. That's a Southern classic, boy. That riding
Yeah.
dirty, space age pimping.
He said that's like if Eric Sermon and Redman did a versus. Yeah, that's right. Like Def Squad. You see that song? That it
Yeah.
don't make sense.
What you think been the best verses so far?
Gucci and Jeezy.
No.
Yeah, because and it wasn't even a rap one either. I'm a keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. You gonna laugh at me when I say this. It's two of them. It's two of them that I like, and it wasn't even rap. Don't laugh, nigga. Because I know you finna flame the shit out of me,
You probably finna say the one I'm gonna say been the best one.
nigga.
You just don't realize it.
Nah. Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle, nigga.
Oh, I ain't see it.
It's my mom, nigga, dog, South. My
Bro, you didn't see
mom
the
had to,
other brother
nigga.
that
My mom let me know that there was a versus, nigga. She
Damn.
was like, I called her South, man. I said, hey, mom, how you doing? She's like, oh, I'm good. Da, 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 da. And I was like, what you so hyped for? She was like, yeah, Gladys Knight and and Patti LaBelle, they finna have a versus. I'm like, a versus? I'm
I
like,
think
what the fuck?
the best two I watched, I ain't watched all of them, so I really can't say. It could have been the best one. The best two I watched,
DMX and Snoop Dogg.
DMX and Snoop Dogg, the second one, but the best one was Earth, Wind, and Fire and Ozzy Brothers. You didn't see
Yeah,
that?
I didn't. Yeah, she told me about that one. I didn't watch that one.
Oh, that
I
one was
watched
awesome.
the Ashanti. I did watch Ashanti because I did a review on that one. I did a review on Ashanti and Keisha Cole because they got into it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they got into it. It wasn't as bad as Jeezy and Gucci. That was anticipated right there.
Oh, they got into it on the live, or they had some history.
Who you talking about? Keisha Cole and Ashanti?
Yeah, they got a history like that. Oh, they
Yeah,
just got.
yeah.
Oh,
They didn't go. Nelly.
oh, Nelly used to mess with her too.
Yeah, I ain't gonna get into that, but yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
but it's something fine as hell. But like most of her stuff is samples of another song, man. Like
Yeah, but
a lot
she
of
still
Biggie
was
stuff.
talented. I think she was head and shoulders above Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole sang from her nose. She didn't really sing from her diaphragm.
You think she can better sing better than Keisha Cole?
Yeah, she be yelling.
Okay.
To me, Ashanti has more. She has a better feel, like a better sound. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my opinion. Nah,
That's a,
she did. She did. You when she took
I've
Mary,
always been a
Mary.
person. I always
Ma-
been a person that Ashanti can't sing. Like she just got a little. She can hold a note a little bit, but
You said you grew up on on Dipset, man. South nigga, hey, tell
I'm just a
Celtic
musician.
Nation, South nigga, hey, in the South we love Dipset, nigga,
Oh,
they love nigga. When I say
no,
they love Cameron and
no,
Jim
no, no.
Jones and that motherfucker Santana and
Oh,
Hell
not
Rail, they
me.
love them niggas.
No, Polo, not me. You got the wrong one.
Oh, look at nigga, why you?
It's niggas that do like them, but no, I don't mess with no Zip Zip.
I'm gonna shut up. I ain't gonna say nothing. I
That
can't
ain't me.
believe it. He don't like Dipset, man.
I don't fuck with
He
no
about to
Dipset.
make me cry right now, man.
I'm sorry.
I can't believe this nigga, man. You the only nigga I done heard that don't like Dipset, nigga. You were probably more in the G Unit.
I like G Unit for a minute.
Uh, see, it's so many. It's so many. Now, okay, what you think about 50?
When 50 came out, he was tough, man.
Yeah, they get rich, not trying.
Yeah, that shit right there, boy. It's one song I'm trying to find that a nigga screwed and chopped. I used to listen to while I was in college.
Uh
Nigga, that nigga, that Richard Get Richard Die Trying screwed and chopped, boy.
huh.
That album True Time is something serious. I used to bump that from like going back home for the weekend and all that. Nigga, I had a mixtape of that shit. That
Uh huh.
man. I
What
mean,
you
not a
talking about
mixtape, but I
going?
had.
Hey, child, you used to go to the. I know you used to go. You used to go to the damn relays and shit.
I went a couple of times. I didn't go all the time.
Yeah, the Texas relays and shit. That nigga South be up in there pulling up and shit. You say Gucci versus Jeezy is the best, and DMX versus Snoop is the best. I'm telling you, South Gucci versus Jeezy, man.
Snoop,
That was
Snoop
the
and
best one.
DX was off the chain, boy. That shit was off the chain. I
Which
don't.
one?
Yeah, it probably don't like it because I don't listen to Gucci, and I like some of Jeezy stuff. The Jeezy got some shit, but
You
Gucci,
don't listen to Gucci?
hell no, I don't like Gucci.
Oh man, you hating. Hold on.
I don't like Gucci. He
Jeezy.
can't. He cannot even
Jeezy
rap.
first album is a classic. Yeah, Trap or Die. It went hard. Uh,
From my understanding, that was a slaughter. That's what a lot of niggas saying. They're like, man, Jeezy slaughtered him, man. He ain't got enough for no goddamn Jeezy, man. Jeezy got so
he
many
you
hot collabs and all that.
you know who Jeezy remind me of? He remind me of a down south Joel Santana.
You asking somebody who don't even mess with Dipset, so I got only
Right.
understand with that.
You asked me if I know about Max B. Yeah, I know about Max B. I hated that him and Jim Jones was beefing. You know what I'm saying?
I, I
But
like Shine. Remember when Shine came out?
yeah, Sean, man, Sean went hard, man. And both of them motherfuckers sound like Biggie, don't they? Sean and Gorilla Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Gorilla
motherfucker,
Black sound
Gorilla
just
Black, man. That
like him, but
motherfucker was locked up
Shine,
for credit
Shine
card
kind of had his
fraud.
own sound though. He didn't sound just like him. He wasn't trying to sound like him. It was
Who
similar,
that?
but I mean, Shine didn't sound just like him. It was similar, but Gorilla Black was trying to sound just like Big.
Yeah, they
He-
yeah they both sound like that, man. I was like, damn, who these niggas trying to? But they was pretty good. I like when Sean. I hated that happened to him and everything, but you know he had to go in and everything. But Gorilla Black, man, yeah, he was in there for credit card fraud and shit. And I was like, damn, what the fuck? I didn't know he was doing that into that type of stuff. So
no,
and the Clippers are still up. They up 59-52. Seem like
they're gonna
Phoenix
close
is
it
on the
down.
heels. This is a halftime now.
No,
But I could go all day on music. What's it called? I'm gonna tell you, like a lot of people, who a lot of people they don't really talk about, but I really feel like he should be held in like a lot of regards, high regards. Is what's a couple people. I feel like Too Short don't get enough credit. Like I'm not talking about lyric wise, but just
his influence on the culture.
Yeah, you know that motherfucker got a lot of albums. I feel like E40, he doesn't get enough credit. Like my niggas from the Bay, I feel like what Spice One did
I
for the
think
game.
I think
DJ
LL
Quick,
don't get enough credit, and he done put out his longevity and his production is second to none. LL don't get enough credit, man.
yeah,
LL from
yeah.
a wide catalog of and diversity, love songs, rap songs, a lot of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Think he got 10 platinum albums too. Want to say he got 10 platinum albums.
But I can't believe you don't like Dipset though. That's
Oh, man.
hard to believe. You like the only man. You like the only guy I ever heard because even
I got a
everybody in
partner
the
that
song.
love Cameron too. Cameron has no, their group has no substance to me. Like I don't listen to
Mhm.
nobody if they have really no substance to them. Like it's just kind of it's just all like allure or not even allure, just glamour.
Mhm.
I'm not big on. I don't really like Lil Wayne. I like artists that have some kind of substance, humility, balance. They have a polarity. They have some kind of soul to them. That's why I
Mhm.
like Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle music got soul to it. He got them serious beats. He talk about real shit to go on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, but see, that's why you don't have to buy. Hold on a second. Hold on. My bad. Uh, they have a lot of. Can you hear me, Sal?
Yeah.
Okay, they had a lot of stuff, especially in Cameron's his not his first album, his second album, Come On Home With Me. I think if you listen to that album right there, it would change
I got a I
your
got a
perception.
partner. His favorite rapper is Cameron. He used to bang that shit. I'm not
Yeah,
feeling it.
come on home with me, man. That went hard, man. Like that definitely. I felt that Come On Home With Me was better was better than it was up there with diplomatic immunity. It's just like with diplomatic immunity. It if you listen to the sound of it, there was a lot of soul because they used a lot of old school type feel in the beginning, South, and then they would go right into the song. Even some of you could hear it in the background. They used a lot of stuff like man, it made you could feel it in your bones, man.
Mhm.
You said facts. Too Short, a legend. Songs with Big J and Pop. Yeah, I'm telling you, Tupac. Man, I mean, Too Short, man. That nigga was everywhere. You said facts. Come on home with me is a great album. Exactly. You better let South know.
No, everybody ain't gonna like everything, man. I might like it. I don't know. There's no Cameron song I can think of that I like and just want to listen to. I just everything I've heard from him, I just nothing I like. Just like that with some people.
Just like you said, what you say? You said, what's the name? Couldn't sing.
Ashanti never been known for her singing ability. I think she packaged good as far as
Man,
looks.
she won the battle.
Huh?
She won. She won. People say that she won the battle.
Oh, maybe she did.
Hmm.
Maybe she did.
So okay, so who you like singing wise though? Because
Oh,
I got my top three.
oh, you talking about just singing? I'm gonna tell you, I'm a big fan of Miguel, man. I think he slept on, man. That nigga tough.
Oh, Miguel, yeah, Miguel go hard.
That nigga got a lot of bangers.
What about Lloyd?
Lloyd, Lloyd straight. I mean, I ain't never been into Lloyd like that, like some of his stuff. I mean, you talk about all time, like I love me some
Mm-hmm.
Mary J. Lil
Mm-hmm.
Mo slept on, boy, that motherfucker sing her ass off. Lil Mo.
Yeah, especially that Superwoman.
Hey, you heard that screwed and chopped? Oh my god.
Su-
You can feel this. Hey man, this nigga
su-
freak that thing. That
The-
Superman. Oh,
who did you like better though, Sal? This is off the subject of singing, but I meant to ask you there. You mentioned Screwed and Chopped, man. What did you like Swisher House better, or did you like Screwed Up Click, man?
I didn't even
Better.
listen to now. That don't answer your question. I didn't even listen to those Fisher House stuff.
Oh, you was all SUC.
Yeah, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
very. I ain't gonna say I didn't listen to none, but it's very little that I did.
Mm-hmm.
It's very little that I did.
I had a partner. I had a partner that was just like you. That he ain't never because he felt that
I didn't like
like
DSR. It was like goofy to me, man. That shit DSR group. It was like real goofy, loony.
what? Dang, you ain't like DSR?
That shit was loony, man. Yeah.
Well, you don't like Tum Tum and Big
Mhm.
Tut?
Nope.
Man, them niggas went hard.
That shit was loony. It was loony to me, man.
Ah man, I got you. Hey, you man, you better pay homage, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
What
not gonna
about
fake
Mr.
like I
What
like somebody
about
that
Mr.
doesn't,
Pookie?
man.
I know you fuck with Mr. Pookie.
But yeah, Puka and Luke, lay it down. I'm a cook for life.
Yeah, you know they Dallas.
Yeah, you know that's Puka and Luke. Yeah,
What about okay, so um motherfucking me uh the Freestyle Kings with Tight and of course they had Charlie Boy,
yeah. All the person I
all them
really
guys
liked.
from Huntsville.
Yeah, all the person I really liked was Charlie Boy.
Right.
Charlie Boy. I like Charlie Boy. I
He
didn't really. Go ahead.
no, you got it, bro. Go ahead.
I didn't really like. I didn't like Mike. It's only I didn't like Mike Jones.
Hmm.
And it's a nasty. It was a song that I used to bang that was Food and Chop from Mike Jones when I was in high school. That Yodelay. That shit used to bump.
Yodel, yeah. Why you like that? Yeah, that song did go hard though.
His music had no substance to me. Him as an artist, he don't have a substance. He don't have a variety. Can't move me in different places. Like I don't really gravitate to artists that's just kind of one dimensional.
Hmm.
In my opinion, like
Right.
that's why Dipset they always was like a lure. It's just fashion, boom, 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 and I
Nah,
just couldn't get it in flow. I just didn't like
nah. That's
like it.
that's why that's why you have to, man. See,
I just have
it's
to like
one.
what I like. Just
Right, no, but see, that's what I'm saying. I used to see it that way, you know what I'm saying? But it's sometimes it's hard. Okay, like I'll give you a prime example, like the Locks. Okay, like I felt the same way that you felt about the group in as a whole, right? But when I got to listen to them like separate, because I was just always just focused on Jadakiss. But like when I listened to Styles P's album, I didn't really listen to Shea Glue like that. But when got a chance to separate the two and actually listen to them and listen to their album and their creativity on their own, like some people may disagree now, some people may disagree, but if you really go and you go listen to Styles P and listen to the stuff that he's saying, it gets to you more than you listening to a Kiss album. And so that's why, like, when you say, I can kind of relate to what you're saying and stuff, because I was just like, well, man, these guys, man, I don't know, I'm not really gaining anything out of it. But I was like, dang, Styles P is really more versatile than what I thought he was, or Jadakiss is really more versatile than what I thought he was. Or you pull them guys out of the group, you listen to like all them guys that come out from Wu Tang, you like, ah man, these guys they all about one thing. But if you listen to RZA's album, you know what I'm saying, you'd be like, wow, this guy, he's pretty dope. He's pretty versatile with what he do. Or
I
GZA,
didn't.
man, I didn't know he had a sound like that.
Some people I just felt like listening to them, like RZA, how he flow, it just I just don't understand.
You said, I think Styles is better than Jadakiss. Overall, I would have to get a nod to Jadakiss, but I think Styles. Um, I just think like Jadakiss's delivery and just overall, Jadakiss can mesh well. So can Styles. They can mesh well with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why Jadakiss he's able to go to like the South and do songs with like Lil Weezy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or it's very few artists that can mix it up with everybody. If you South Political, you know this too. You'll go to a lot of you'll see like on a lot of albums and stuff like that, and it be Southern. Guess who you have there? You'll have Jadakiss on as a feature because Jadakiss does good features.
Yeah.
And I think shout out to my boy Nola James. He put this in perspective too. He said this. He said that Cash Money Rough Riders tour, that was one of the best tours in hip hop history.
That sound like it. That combination, especially at the prime of their career.
Right.
But for me, I mean, you make a good point. Like, it's you got to show me, you got to move me in different places for me to really take on your music. Like I remember when I first heard T.I., it wasn't his mainstream song that got me. It was the Still Ain't Forgave Myself. When I heard that, I'm like, this nigga tough, man. I gotta listen to more of his shit.
It wasn't 24s.
No, it was Still Ain't Forgave. You ever listen to that? That's one of his first. Still Ain't Forgave Myself. How you talking about his life and all the shit he fucked up and done?
Not on. You're not talking about. You're not talking about Urban Legend, right?
I don't think that's on. Is it Still Ain't Forgave Myself? Ain't on Urban Legend. See, I ended up listening to it because it was on an old Trey mix. Mix.
Oh, it was on a mixtape. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's off one of his albums. But still like
because his first one. Are you talking about trap music?
It might be. I can't remember exactly.
Because he had trap music. I'm trying to think. He had trap music. He had Urban Legend. Because a lot of people don't realize how consistent that motherfucker T.I. was. He had King. That motherfucker had Paper Trail. Yeah, that was after he got locked up or whatever. And he still make work. He had T.I. versus Tip.
He actually,
what's that?
To be honest with you, he been the most consistent rapper. But the thing about him, I talked about this before. It's another dimension of being a rap artist that you don't have control over. Well, you do, but you can't fake it, in my opinion. How your art meets your reality and how your fans see that adds another dimension to your music. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna explain it. You have people that are good lyricists and they might make pretty good music, but their art don't give you the option or the illusion that this is their reality, so it takes away from it. So now when you listen to them, it's like they trying to tell you something versus this is who they are. That was to me, that's what made Tupac so great. Because whether he was talking about his life or not, his art met his reality, and you felt like this is actually him, no matter if he was telling you a story about somebody else or he was telling you about a story about himself. And that's something it's like another dimension of where you can't even teach that. You can't even learn it. I don't think. You either have it or you don't.
Right. You gotta be blessed with that talent.
Yeah, it's either in you or not. I think Nipsey Hussle was like that too. Where he went
and a lot of people didn't even give him, his flowers, when he was alive like that, right, South. And then they started listening to him. I always listened to Nipsey Hussle, but there a lot of people wasn't even listening to Nipsey Hussle until they're like, oh, okay, man, that's the guy. And I was like, man, you should have been listening to this dude, because he was more than rap. He was giving advice on the surface of life. Go ahead, bro.
But some people don't even because I caught on to him late too. Some people in certain areas don't really get, like on this side, bro. It's not the same as far as getting music and all that. I would have been on the Nipsey a lot earlier if I was in Texas. I know, because it's just a different liking the music where you're gonna hear some shit like that. But you don't hear no Nipsey Hussle in no goddamn Atlanta.
Right. He had because I know he loved fucking with that boy Chiato. I know, but he got a song with T. I think he had a song with T.I. and 2 Chainz.
But see, the thing about it, the music atmosphere is different than it.
2 Chainz.
And when you talk about Texas and Cali rappers, Texas and Cali, I always know who the mainstream and underground.
Yeah, he had a song. Yeah, I remember that song. It was called Grind Mode, South. It had 2 Chainz. It had 2 Chainz and Nipsey, YG, 2 Chainz, and Nipsey Hussle. It's called Grind Mode. I remember that.
But you got to understand, Texas and California got that connection. Pretty much everybody in Texas know the underground rappers in Cali, and vice versa. But in Atlanta, man, a lot of people don't know who No Zero is or stuff like that.
Yeah, Atlanta the hub.
Listen, bro, I'm telling you, I've been down for 15 years. A lot of people don't know who Zero is. Casual
but a lot of people do know who he is. He done did shows there, right?
I'm gonna say it again. They know a little bit more about him now because of Rick Ross, but in the early 2000s and mid 2010s, people didn't know Zero like that.
He was doing shows all throughout the South, so.
Just listen to me. People don't
he was there. Because you got to realize, man, he wasn't just by himself all the time. He at one point, him and Trey, they was with ABN, so they was going through that portion of the South. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was Georgia, whether it was Florida, Miami, Mississippi, Alabama, all that.
I'm gonna tell you like
what did they call that? They called it South. What they call that? The Chitlin Circuit.
people in Louisiana, Florida, Alabama, they know a little bit about Zero, but in Atlanta, maybe in other parts of Georgia, but I'm telling you, I've been here 15 years. People know a little bit more about
that, man. I thought I'm not saying you lying either, but I thought they would have known a lot about him.
I'm telling you, the
Go Mike, man. What's up, man? You know you're gonna come up in here saying some wild shit, man. We're talking about rapping, South, so
Yeah.
Go.
We're gonna have a versus Polo versus goddamn Go Mike. verses.
Go. 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 You on mute. Never mind. I guess he don't want to talk.
You in the studio? You in the studio with Lil Nas X?
Anyway, no, yeah, I didn't know that. I just thought, like, you know, he definitely made his presence felt. You said Liquid Swords is a classic. Yeah, it is. And then you said DMX had that. What did he have, Celtics Nation? What did DMX have, bro? Yeah, I just, but you know what though? Like, and maybe it's me, South, but does it seem like when an artist passes away, their album sales just go through the roof?
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is.
It just goes through the roof.
Yeah, they become everything they make come up collectible, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say this: DMX is one of those artists as well, where his art, he had heartfelt music, and his art met reality. As far as how he,
okay. That's what you were talking about. That's what Celtics Nation was talking about. Okay, yeah, that's facts.
Every rapper can't do that. Like, I'm gonna tell you somebody who's a very talented lyricist, but as far as his career, his art doesn't merge with his reality, which is fine because it doesn't have to. It's not something you can force. Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar to me is very talented, but when you listen to his music, you think about him being just a talented artist. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he's talented, but with the DMXs, the Tupacs, the Nipsey Hussle, it's like when you listen to their music, you watch them move, it kind of it puts another dimension on what they saying and what they doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like when you can look at it at the peak of Tupac career, he had so much controversy and so much. You had rape charges, police going to court because of police issues, a lot of different things, politicians attacking him, all in the middle of making the album Me Against the World. It just kind of galvanized all together at once. It's like, this shit really going on. You really see this happening, not just to him, but to people you know. That's what made him so much relatable. So it's like you might be going through what he going through, or you might know somebody who know what he going through, but you seeing it and be a part of his true reality and play it through his music.
Right.
Every artist can convey that. That was another thing that kind of helped 50 Cent propel his Get Rich or Die Trying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that he had got shot and he played, you know what I'm saying? And that Mini Man, he play out he kind of tell the story of how he got shot, people wishing death on him and a lot of other things.
Right. That's facts. And I definitely agree with you, man. You know, Nas, to me, Nas doesn't get a lot of credit for that, but Nas was versatile in that sense too. He could, T.I., T.I. was relatable in that sense. Now I know some people may disagree, but when he busted on the scene, he was able to do something like. Now I'm gonna tell you another guy. Too, South, and this might be kind of odd to you, Busta Rhymes, because Busta Rhymes can, he came with all the woo and all that and stuff like that, but then he also can make, songs when it comes to females, and he can also make songs when it comes down to, talking about, everyday life and things that's going on, things like that. I definitely felt like he was definitely in touch with. I fucks with Busta Rhymes, and you know a lot of people from the South definitely mess with Busta Rhymes too. I don't think that Master P gets enough credit for the job. I'm not talking about lyrically, but the way that he was able to show the world various artists that were versatile in the sense. Because I'm gonna switch things up, and I'm gonna switch gears now. As far as female artists South, I'm so sick of the disrespect that
Is
they
he still
do to
capping,
Mia.
Apollo?
But Mia X, huh?
He still capping? Mr. South still capping about rappers?
You still in the studio with Nas X?
Hey, hey. If I was in the studio, I should have got paid then. I ain't get paid.
You
Where
probably got
the money at?
paid with something else.
I ain't got paid. So how I'm being in the studio if I ain't get paid? I'm at work, y'all, so I'm being kind of loud. Yeah, I'm at work on the phone. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Hey, you finna get on the mic? Hey, go.
Hey man, I was filming Lamar on my channel. I did a whole rap battle on his butt. I flamed Lamar for like 3 hours.
Polo said he want to do set up a versus with you.
Who, Polo?
Yeah, he said.
What Polo for the rap? The Sixers. What is the rap on? Ben Simmons being trash?
Nah, hey, Joe. Let me ask, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite hip hop artist of all time, man?
For me, I gotta go with Tupac. Tupac.
You ain't even, man. You ain't even. You know about, so your older cousins or something they listen to him?
No, Tupac's the best rapper to me, man. I grew up with a lot of old people, so that's why I love Tupac the way I do.
Okay.
Tupac.
Tupac's the goat for me, bro.
I thought you would have liked T.I. or somebody.
T.I.'s nowhere near his level. Tupac way better than T.I. Way better.
Tupac, who your favorite rapper? Redman, Apollo?
No.
The best rapper that ever rapped with me is Tupac.
Yeah,
hands down.
Mine was if I had to go with anybody, man, I probably have to go with Jay.
Oh, the karaoke master.
You said karaoke master.
Yeah, nobody.
No, but it's Jay, and then Biggie, and then Pac.
Okay.
I like that. Biggie go hard too, though.
I say
Biggie go hard.
I say Pac is the best rap artist. Biggie probably has the best flow ever.
Let me ask y'all this: what's y'all top 5 of rappers all time?
Polo already gave his. He's in the top 5.
Yeah, mine is Jay, Biggie, Tupac, Eminem, and Snoop.
What, man? That's a soft. That was a soft top 5.
No,
that was soft.
No,
I forgot.
I could really, I could really, in South Solidified, I could really get really ugly for you. And I could go Rakim, KRS-One, motherfucking Kool Moe Dee, motherfucking Eric B. Motherfucking, I could go real old school for you.
That's a better top 5 than what you just said.
Yeah, but see, a lot of them guys, go in South Solidified, they don't even know. A lot of these guys, these youngsters, they don't even know them guys unless they Google them or something.
That's facts, though. That's facts, though.
Rakim, to me, hands down, was the best lyricist of all time. That's just my opinion. Oh, hey, I think Chris Paul is hurt, bro.
What happened to Chris Paul? He turned a leg or something?
Chris Paul is hurt. And that motherfucker Patrick Beverly making fun of this shit. They booing Patrick Beverly.
What's the score right now?
71-62. LA Clippers are up.
In the third quarter?
Yep, third quarter.
Third quarter, like what? 5 minutes?
Yeah, he just undercut Chris Paul real bad. Did you see that South Political?
No.
He undercut him real bad. That could have been real nasty. Ooh, he fell on his tailbone bad, man.
That should be 2 free throws in the ball, right?
Man, come on, Patrick Beverly, bro. See, that's one of the reasons why I don't like. I love Patrick Beverly as a defender, man, but that's one of the reasons why I don't like him.
So the Suns are down 10. Man, the Suns got
to. They're down 11.
Man, the Suns got to find a way to close this game out. If you're the Phoenix Suns,
wait, 9.
They got to find a way to close this gap.
Mm-hmm.
They got to find a way to close this game out. Hey, you do not want to play, huh?
Hey, you heard the news, right, Mike?
What happened?
I don't think South heard it. You probably already heard the news. Orlando interviewed Penny Hardaway.
Oh, really? For head coach?
Yeah, for the coaching position.
Oh, what are these? Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. That's just crazy.
Why is that crazy?
Why is all these teams hiring players as coaches? First, Portland hires Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, he been coaching at Memphis at the collegiate level.
Here's my thing, though. How much NBA coaching experience has he got, though? I don't want to hear collegiate. I want to hear NBA.
They supposed to be hiring fans to coach? Who they supposed to be hiring?
They're supposed to be hiring guys that has real coaching experience. Penny Hardaway ain't no real coach.
Yes, he is. He been at Memphis coaching D1 the last few seasons for like 3 seasons.
That's D1. It's not NBA.
It's still coaching though. A lot of people that made the transition to the coach. Where do you think Larry Brown? Mike, you shooting yourself in the foot and you're ethering yourself. Larry Brown coached at the collegiate level and then went to the NBA.
Larry Brown is way better than Penny Hardaway. It's not close.
How are you gonna say that if he doesn't get the opportunity to do that?
Larry Brown is head and shoulders better than Penny Hardaway.
Come on, man. We won't know that. We won't know that unless he actually gets the opportunity, man. So, you trying to tell me Juwan Howard isn't good?
Juwan Howard better than Penny Hardaway. Let's keep that above.
Okay. How so? Because he won as an assistant in Miami, or because he made it pretty good this year with Michigan.
Him being an assistant on an NBA team, to me, that gives him more coaching experience than Penny Hardaway.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that a little bit, but you can't discredit Penny Hardaway because he's coached at multiple levels. He coached at level.
Okay. How much want to bet, Polo? They would never ever make the finals. Never.
Orlando? I'm not going to bet.
Yeah, Orlando.
I'm not going to bet you that. Really, what you should be banking on, Mike, is that he makes some sort of strides to kind of turn the organization around, because Orlando hasn't been in the playoffs in quite some time. You said Celtics Nation. You said Penny been coaching In college, yeah, you're right. And then you also said that's more coaching experience than Steve Nash. Hey, Mike, you got a good point.
Steve Nash should not be coaching.
Yeah.
Steve, I already said Steve Nash should not be coaching. I already said that.
Okay.
Penny Hardaway is a better coach than Steve Nash because he has experience. Steve Nash has no experience. I agree with Rick Dahl.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that was a good point, Celtics Nation, man. Yeah, that was a good point.
Hey, I'm not disagreeing with them, Polo. I'm not disagreeing with them.
Right, I understand. But you know, we can't just. You got to think about it too, Mike. Penny Hardaway was a point guard. He was a point guard in the league, and point guard make great coaches. That's why they got Chauncey Billups that he hired at Portland. That's why you have Jason Kidd in motherfucking Dallas. That's why you got Tyronn Lue with the Clippers. That's why you got Doc Rivers over there with Philly. They were all point guards. Steve Nash with Brooklyn.
Hey, Polo, Celtics 85 ain't telling me nothing I don't already know.
You said what?
He's not saying anything that I already know. Everything he just said, I already know.
Okay, but what you're saying, but this is what you said. You banging on the fact that Penny just gonna come up in there and it's gonna be a complete failure.
No. Here's what I'm saying. Steve Nash, bro. Penny Hardaway may make some improvements, but he's never gonna make the finals. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, never say never. What if he do?
I say never. He's never gonna make it coaching that team. That team is trash.
Man, you already.
They just traded.
You giving up.
Let's keep it a buck, Polo. They traded all their best players. They traded Aaron Gordon. They traded Vucevic. And they traded, what's the other boy named? Fournier. They traded away all their best players.
Yeah, but they still got Cole Anthony.
Man, Cole Anthony is one man. He's one man. What are you going to do?
Well, you know, listen, if they got Cole Anthony, they got Mo Bamba, and they got Markelle Fultz.
Mo Bamba can't stay healthy. And Markelle Fultz can't stay healthy. Neither one can.
Nah, they'll come back healthy, man. You know, I believe in Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba still hurt. Man, come on. Mo Bamba can't. Mo Bamba still, he's still on the sideline in street clothes.
Nah, yeah, they got rid of a lot of their pieces or whatever. I wish they would have got rid of Gordon like that, but you know they got rid of. Well, I think they wanted to put him in a better. You know, he wanted to be in a better situation. Okay, let me ask you this: what you think of R.J. Hampton? Go.
Who does he play for?
He played for Orlando.
R.J. Hampton, I don't like his game too much, truth be told. I think his game needs to be polished a little bit better. He has to.
What about Jonathan Isaac? I know you like him.
Jonathan Isaac, I like his game. Jonathan Isaac, I like his game. He's very explosive. He's got a decent 3-point shot. Jonathan Isaac, I like his game, but I'm kind of fearful of the injuries that he's been suffering as of late.
And then they got Terrence Ross. I know you like
Terrence Ross a beast. Oh, yeah. We tried to trade for him. Remember that, Polo? We tried to trade for Terrence Ross.
Yeah. See, you see what I'm saying? They got Cole Anthony. They got some guys on there that they can, and they got they got. You know, my boy Michael Carter Williams. He kind of, you know, he kind of hit or miss or whatever. But they got some guys on there that, you know, you could look at and be like, okay, hey, look, we could do something.
Right. Well, they can make some noise.
And then they acquired Gary Harris too. They got Gary Harris from Denver.
Gary Harris, he's not playing up to his potential
I agree with
at
you.
all.
I agree. I
When
agree
he
with you.
when he first came in the NBA, Polo, he was seen as a guy that can come in and get straight buckets. Man, he ain't been getting he hasn't been doing that.
You right. Yeah,
He's
he kind of
inconsistent. He'll have one game where he'll do well, and the next one he'll fall off. You know what I'm saying?
right. No, that's facts. You know, when I looked at Gary Harris, I thought I said to myself, I was like, man, he could evolve because he'll be like one game he'll put up good numbers in that next game you'll be like, damn, where's he at? And then he'll go on a stretch of games where you won't hear nothing good from him. So, and I think that Denver was tired of it, and they went ahead and shipped him out.
Yeah, that's why Denver traded him because Denver had high expectations for Gary Harris, but Gary Harris has not lived up to the expectations. And Polo, it was crazy. Michael Porter Jr. was a guy. Everybody thought that Michael Porter Jr. was not going to live up to expectations. Look, Denver kept Michael Porter, and they traded Gary Harris because everybody thought, oh, they're going to trade Michael Porter Jr. He's mad at the coach, this and that. But whenever they chose Michael Porter over Gary Harris, what does that tell you? Michael Porter is living up to the hype, not Gary Harris.
Yeah, I like what Michael Porter Jr. Did this year. Even though Denver lost, but he was put in a position where, okay, dang man, this was only this was like he was pretty much a baby under that amount of pressure with Jamal Murray being gone, and I felt like he performed well. I'm gonna be real with you. I felt like he outperformed a lot of guys in this playoffs. I'm not gonna say
That's
Jokic, but he outperformed a lot of guys on that Denver squad.
I gotta give Michael Porter Jr. credit, man. Whenever Murray went down, man, he balled out. Michael Porter Jr. He showed why he's the first overall pick this season. Even in losses, he showed why he's the first overall pick. To be told, Polo, I wish there was a way. I wish there was a way we could trade for Michael Porter Jr. on the Lakers, man.
Yeah, speaking of your Lakers, Mike, I got two questions that I gotta ask you. I gotta get your perspective on. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to talk to you about this. Okay, KCP, you know he got robbed, right? At gunpoint.
I heard about that.
Yeah, what you think about that, man?
Woo! Well, he gotta be more careful. He's gotta be careful of where he's going at certain times. I think KCP has to be more mindful because people was crazy at a certain time. So I feel bad for the guy, but he's got to be more mindful of people who are around him. You know, be more cautious, be more aware of his surroundings. So yeah, it's a bad sighting for KCP. You know, he had a bad year shooting the ball, got robbed, but he's got to do a better job of protecting himself. Being aware.
That's facts. Okay, now Kevin Scottie Pippen came out and you know what he said about Phil, right?
What does Scottie say about Phil?
He said he accused Phil of being a racist.
What in the world? If
Yeah.
Phil was a
Hey, this is why he said it too, Mike. I wish he was in the last stream, but this is what he said. He said that the reason why Phil Jackson didn't choose him to take the last shot, and he chose Tony Kukoc. He said that it was racially motivated. He said it on the Dan Patrick show. He said that Phil Jackson is a man. I was like, man, all you trying to do is just promote your damn book, man.
That's pathetic. That's pathetic. Tony Kukoc, he was more clutch than Scotty. So why would I take you over a guy that's clutch?
That's facts. That's facts.
Scotty would have had all those rings without Tony Kukoc. That's a fact. Kukoc is shooter for the Bulls.
Right.
And Michael Jordan loves Kukoc because he can shoot so well.
Right.
So yeah, Phil Jackson's not that. If his mindset was like that, he would have not coached MJ and Kobe. If that was his motive.
Right. But you know what he said, Go? He also mentioned this too. He said that when he was talking about Phil, he said, because you remember when Phil had came out with a book, he said, you know, it was wrong of him to throw Kobe, talk about Kobe the way he did. So he tried to bring Kobe into it, you know, when Phil was, you know, telling the book that Phil Jackson wrote, and he tried to bring that in there just to try to, you know, say that why are you talking about Kobe and all this other stuff, trying to throw like race into it and everything, man.
It's not, bro. Scotty's taking it the wrong way. Why would I draw a player for a guy that ain't clutch? Scotty ain't clutch like Tony Kukoc.
Nah, he ain't. He's not even a shooter. He wasn't a shooter like that.
Exactly. Why should I draw a player for a guy that's not a good shooter? Why look like a fool?
He felt like he was a guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though he was an all-star on there. Well, there were two other all-stars on the team. It was him, Horace Grant, and B.J. Armstrong. They were all-stars. And
just because you're the man, that don't mean I have to draw a player for you because you're the man. I'm going for the shooter.
That's facts.
LeBron James the man. But what does LeBron always do? Pass to the shooter.
And then this is what he also said. He said Kevin Durant wouldn't have been a good player in the 90s.
Man, that's cap. That's a whole lot of cap. That's way too much cap.
Scotty, hey Mike, Mike. Hey, I'm telling you, he's been saying this shit like in the media, man.
Anybody who thinks a KD couldn't play in that era, they smoking way too much dope.
Oh man.
Yeah. You know what it is? His wife dumped him, so maybe his mind's not all there, you know?
Yeah, man. He going through a lot with his personal life. I was like, man, he need to get that situation straight before he try to get out here, trying to write a book and everything. Because Liza Pippen is, doing all that stuff, on Instagram and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But hey, Polo, my phone's dying.
Okay.
Yeah, I get off in a little bit.
Okay, no problem, man. Hey, that's our Goat Mike. Y'all be sure to subscribe to my boy Goat Mike channel, man. That's one man band, and also Lakers channel, Big Mike. All right, salute to you, Goat Mike. Have a good one, bro.
All right, Polo. I'll come back whenever I get off work.
No doubt. Have a good one.
All right. All right, you too.
And that would go Mike, man. Oh man, definitely a good show so far. We had Celtic Nation was up in there holding it down for a little bit. I think Celtics Nation probably done chopped out. It's all good, man. Thank you for pulling up. These Clippers, man, they up. They actually doing something, man. These Clippers think that they gonna do something, man. I'm like, wow, I can't believe it. And Patrick Beverly, the combination of Patrick Beverly and Paul George have just ran through them. LA Clippers are killing them with points in the paint at 48. Phoenix only has 20. The score is 91 to 78. Clippers are up right now. 11:43 left to go in the fourth quarter. And Phoenix had a chance to close this out. I don't know why they're playing lackadaisical as that thing. Torrey Craig hits that shot, and Reggie Jackson has the rock right now, and there's a foul away from the ball. I think that's going to go on Dario Saric. I know my guy Hitman X, man. He's like really frustrated right now because he wanted to close this out. Score is 91-81 in the fourth. Paul George is on the bench. I mentioned that because that's that's something that we got to pay attention to. Terrence Mann got the ball right there, makes it in. Terrence Mann just finishes. Clippers are up 93 to 81. 11:19 left to go. Dario Saric, it goes in. Now the score is 93 to 83. 11:08 left to go. Reggie Jackson has the rock. Reggie Jackson gets it to Nicholas Batum, who gets it to DeMarcus Cousins and one. DeMarcus Cousins is showing that he could definitely make his presence felt. They forget what Boogie brings to the game. DeMarcus Cousins at the line, shoots it, that's good. Clippers are up 13, 96 to 83. Dario Saric has the rock, gets it to Booker. Booker takes it in. 85-96. And Reggie Jackson gets it to DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins gets it back to Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson gets it to Kennard. He misses that shot. And Devin Booker has a rock right now. He's on the right side, takes it in. He's guarded by Cousins. That right there, there wasn't gonna be anything that happened right there because DeMarcus Cousins is no match for Devin Booker, especially defensively. DeMarcus Cousins has it at the top of the key, gets it to Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson with the mid-range, misses that one. Rebound, Phoenix. That went to Cameron Johnson. Booker has the rock right now. Booker takes it in. Booker with the shot. And Booker hits it. Booker is bringing them back. The score is now 96 to 89. 9:18 left to go in the fourth. Phoenix trying to make that push. They can end it tonight. They could actually end it tonight. All right, and the Clippers score. Sorry about that break. And the score is 98-91. 8:20 left. I'm glad Chris Paul got up. In Celtic Nation, you said Steve Nash has had 3 prime potential Hall of Famers. Yeah, that's fact. You gotta look at stuff like that. Morris got the ball, hits a mid range, or shoots a mid range, misses that. Chris Paul gets it to Sark. Sark is fouled. The Clippers are playing like they really want it. Clippers up 98-91. Ball stolen by Chris Paul. Devin Booker takes it in. He misses a shot. Reggie Jackson has the rock right now. He's guarded by Booker. Paul George takes it in. Oh, he loses the ball though. Paul George loses it. Cam Johnson takes it all the way in. And there's a foul on Morris. There's a foul on Morris. This crowd is going crazy out here in Phoenix. Paul George, he just made a huge turnover. A very costly turnover. That was good defense by Cameron Johnson. He's got 13 points, shooting 100% from 3-point. And Paul George just got, I think he got called for the flagrant for throwing down Daniel. That was a good acting job by Daniel Craig. That was a real good acting job. If the Clippers win tonight, they could actually come back and win the series. They'll have to win 3 straight, but I don't think. I think Phoenix is going to really try to come out with a little bit more aggression next game. They haven't been aggressive this game. They're starting to wake up now, but they haven't been aggressive this game. Whenever you're playing a team like this, You should feel like you're under the most pressure. Um, the no, you should make the other team feel like they're under the most pressure. I mean, excuse me. Um, but they're playing like they're under the most pressure. Yeah, y'all don't really have any pressure. The only pressure y'all have to do is just to win. That's the only thing that needs to be done. A lot of people feel like this series should have been over a long time ago. I mean, that's what a lot of people feel like. And let me see. All right, Reggie Jackson got the ball, gives it to Paul George to Batum, Batum to Reggie Jackson. He hits the three. Clippers up 101-94. 6:29 left to go. Chris Paul got the rock. Chris Paul gives it to Booker. Booker's guarded by Patrick Beverly. And Booker misses a shot. DeAndre Ayton tried to rebound it, real physical up in there. Paul George gets it, and that's good. It should have been a foul on that one, but they didn't call it. 103-94. Gotta love the way Paul George is being aggressive. He's got 30, 35, shooting excellent tonight, 14 of 19. Booker gives it to Craig. Craig takes it in. That's good. 96-103. And the Suns are playing on the hill. Now they starting to play. Now they starting to play like they wanted. They should have been playing like that at the beginning of the game. Reggie Jackson shoots it. That's good. Reggie Jackson, aka Bobby Smyrna. Clippers up 109 to 96. Oh, well, 106 to 96. Sorry. Reggie Jackson takes it in. Reggie Jackson with the dunk. Reggie Jackson is coming through hooping. Bobby Smyrna. Yeah, Bobby Smyrna is definitely hooping tonight. You got to give him his credit. 108 to 96. Uh, Phoenix. I mean, Clippers are up. Paul George with the crossover. Oh, but he misses a shot and he's fouled. Fouled by Crowder. But Paul George got to get up, man. I think he got poked in the eye. I think he got poked in the eye. We're gonna see what happens. And Jay Crowder would been trying to grab his jersey and do all of that stuff, man. I like Jay Crowder, man, but he could be very very dirty, man. He could be a very dirty player. You know, I mean, he plays good defense at times, but he gets a little crazy with the fouls and all of that stuff. Yeah, they're working on Paul George right now, working on his eye. Are they gonna show his eye? But it's a part of the game. You know, the show must go on, unfortunately. And Paul George is he's at the line. He got scratched up, but he hits the first one. Clippers up 109-96. Wasn't too bad, Big Who, but he's back at it again. You gotta like the heart of Paul George. I like the fact that he's a fighter. In comparison, to Paul George. Paul George do got heart though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that. It's just that sometimes he's came up in small and big moments, but he's not playing like that tonight. He's playing like he really wants it. You know, he made a few turnovers, but for the most part, comes back, hits the mid range. Now they up 112-96. Paul George and Reggie Jackson absolutely lighting this. They're being very aggressive, very aggressive. CP3 has a rock right now. CP3 shoots it mid range. That's good. 112-98. 3:35 left to go. Paul George has a right. He's guarded by CP3. Gets it to Morris. Morris had the ball stolen away from him, and there's a foul on the play. There's a foul on the play, and I think CP3 is going to the line right now. Getting ready to go to the line. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. Chris Paul got 20 points. Shoots that shot is good at the free throw line. Chris Paul got 22 points. Clippers up 112 to 100. 3:10 left to go in the fourth. Paul George takes it in. Ball is stripped by Jay Crowder. And there should be a technical foul on Jay Crowder. They're doing everything they can to try to get Jay Crowder hyped up. He's all in his head, and that was a foul. That was a foul. Monty Williams gonna talk it over. And yeah, that was a foul. But you know, you're gonna have to, yeah, that was a foul. Yeah, Jay Crowder mad. Yeah, man. Definitely had a dope live tonight, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. Celtics Nation, Goat Mike, Octavius, Texas, man. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. And hold on one sec. All right, Paul George has 39 points, about to make it 40. Paul George has 40 points. That boy got a 40 piece. About to go for 41. Shot good. Clippers is up 114 to 100. 3:03 left to go in the fourth quarter. Chris Paul has a rock. Chris Paul shoots it. He's off on that one. Rebound, Paul George. Paul George has a rock going up against Crowder. Paul George gets it to Moore. Oh, throws it away though. Throw the ball away. And Patrick Beverly guarding Devin Booker misses a shot. Rebound Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson has a rock right now. Who've been playing really good as well. And they're just killing time right now playing the card. Reggie Jackson shoots it. He's off on that one. Devin Booker takes it in. He misses that one. Patrick Beverly calls timeout. 1:56 left to go in the fourth. Ty Lue is doing a good coaching job tonight. I gotta give credit to what credit is due. Ty Lue is doing a great coaching job. Doing an excellent coaching job tonight. And the way that they're coming out aggressive. And see, that's another, none of these have, we've only had, African American coaches. I mean, we got Ty Lue going against Monty Williams, you know, and I think the previous series it was Doc Rivers versus Nate McMillan. That's what everybody wanted to see. Now Paul George has entered into the history books. He's in the company with MJ, Kobe, and Kevin Durant for 20 plus points in each of the first 18 games in the playoffs. So Paul George has made history tonight. Reggie Jackson has the ball. 153 left to go. Gives it to uh, Marcus Morris. Morris shoots it. He's off on that one. Gives it to CP3. CP3 has a rock right now. 132 left to go. CP3 with the shot. Way off on that one. As the Clippers are going to go ahead and they're going to win this game on their home floor. They're going to go ahead and win this game. You got to like how the Clippers came out. Real aggressive. Not taking any prisoners, man. I, I'm proud of the way that they fought. I thought they could have came in here with that attitude and just said, you know what, that's it. We're done. But that's what you like to see. You gotta remain competitive no matter if you're down by 2 or if you're down by 50. You still gotta stay in the fight. You're still gonna have to stay in the fight. That's why I love this team. We fight back. Well, I mean, you still got to win 3 games in a row. Okay. So we'll have to see, how y'all do when y'all play on Wednesday. You know, we have to see how y'all do against, when all the odds are stacked against you because now you're really under pressure. You're going that 3-2. So if you go down there, then you have a chance to tie it. Then you got to win one more. So yeah, you talk about you fight back, man. You got to know that we this is the this is the time to see what the guys are made of. As who was that? They hit the shot. Somebody. Oh, okay. Yeah, they put the bench players in. shot. That's good. Who is that guy? Yeah, they got all the bench players in there, so it's pretty much over with. 23 seconds left to go. Cameron Payne has a right, gets it to Zaire. Sorry, 9 seconds left to go, and it's over with. Clippers have defeated the Phoenix Suns 116 to 102. Paul George with an epic performance. Okay. Paul George played his ass off tonight. They came out, pretty much aggressive from jump start. I was looking at the game. Y'all might not think so, but I was looking at the game, and it the Clippers were playing as if their life depended on it. Hold on 1 second. This is the Suns, man. All right. Oh, this is game 5. Okay, look. All right, the Clippers. You know, they pretty much the bulk of the scoring came from a combination of Cousins, Paul George, Jackson, and Morris. Paul George had 41 and 13, was 6 assists. Reggie Jackson was the next guy that he had 23. 23 points and 5 rebounds, and Morris had 22 points with 3 rebounds, and Cousins had chipped in with 15 points in 11 minutes. That's phenomenal. Now the Suns, on the other hand, D Booker, he tried to keep him in there. He had 31, 3 and 4, 3 assists and 4 rebounds, and DeAndre Ayton. While some people might say, okay, well, man, he only had 10 points. He had 11 rebounds. So he was double digit in rebounds. And then, of course, Chris Paul had 22 points. He dropped 8 dimes. And Cameron Johnson had 14. Okay. Now, from a statistical standpoint, the Clippers pretty much had the edge on most of the categories. They outshot the Phoenix Suns. They were at 54%, 54.8%, while the Suns was at 45.2. They had the Clippers on the 3-point shot. I felt like the quality of the shots that were taken by the Clippers were ill-advised. Okay, let's just call it what it is. And then the Phoenix Suns shot 34.6%. Free throws, we beat them. The Clippers beat them, not we. I'm acting like I'm a Clippers fan. I can't believe that. They shot 93.3%, while Phoenix shot 85%. Then, of course, you also have to look at the rebounds. They were matched of 41-41. They had the edge on in assists, tied up for blocks. They had the number of well they had less turnovers than what Phoenix had. And then of course in the points in the paint, that was won by LA by a landslide. You know, points in the paint, that a lot of people don't look at that, but that's still a very vital, important part of the game. But y'all tell me what you think. I want to thank you for hanging around for the game. Until then, like this video, share it, do all that good stuff. And it's Polo Sports Talking ENT and also Polo Sports News Plus. I'll holler at y'all.